Hello, good evening, students who are there. We just started off, so let's just wait for a few minutes till the time we have other students joining in. Okay, and then we'll kickstart. So till that time, okay, we all said okay because we are going to talk about. I mean, in general about college applications. Okay, that you have to do. Okay, in the last 1 month. Okay, or after that. Also talk about LR, okay, verbal, solve some previous year questions, okay, from both LR, okay, verbal, all of that. Okay, what needs to be done in the last 2-3 months of time, okay. I mean, in terms of like before CAT, aapko kya karna hai 1 mahina, and then after that also what will help you in other exams, okay, we'll talk about that as well, okay. All right. So let's just wait, okay, let's just wait. Meanwhile, students who are there who can hear me can quickly put a yes in the chat. Okay, if you guys can hear me. All right. All right, people who have put on the cams, okay, you can put off your cameras. Okay, I mean, no, there is no need to put on your cameras. Okay, so no, you can put off. And I'm getting some questions. Okay, so till the time students are joining, okay, any specific questions? So Amala has put, okay, sir, I have good total but 0 working. What is the minimum to get a call from IELTS? Okay, I mean, in general, okay, so till the time we kickstart, okay, if there's any questions coming up, okay, we can take that for now. So you guys can just post, okay, if any questions are there. So Amala, the straight answer, okay, for your case, okay, you're saying that you don't have any work ex. So a 90 percentile, okay, is the benchmark for a lot of IMs. Okay, not the top 6, but definitely okay, like the baby or the new IMs. Okay, new IMs, okay, would be 93, and if you cross 96 percentile, okay, a lot of freshers, okay, from 96 onwards, okay, they start getting calls even from the top IMs. Okay, depending on okay, what education background you have. If you're an engineer, okay, obviously engineer general male, okay, then you have to get even more. If you're a non-engineer, 96 onwards, okay, BCom or BMS or BA students, okay, they start getting BA. In fact, they will get from 93 also from a top 6 science. But yes, if you are among the commerce graduates, okay, 96, okay, is standard percentile, okay, to get from the top 6 IIMs, okay. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so to start off, okay, with things, I think it's 3 minutes past. All right, I think students are still joining. Okay, so let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. Okay, Pratik. So Pratik, are you also studying for CAT? If you're asking for SNAP and NMAT, okay, are you also studying for CAT? No, okay. So in that case, I mean, if I talk specifically for SNAP, you don't need RCs for SNAP. You don't need data interpretation. There's only one data interpretation question that comes up. Okay. Like so for SNAP, majorly you don't need RC and data interpretation. You can kind of say that. Okay. That's one of the major major changes for SNAP. NMAT, in fact, doesn't have much of changes, okay, when it comes to preparation, but SNAP definitely has got a lot of things. Okay, in NMAT, geometry is not there, okay, but in SNAP, you have 4 questions that comes on geometry, okay, up to 4 questions that comes on geometry. So this would be like things that you're supposed to avoid in your preparation. Okay, for SNAP, these are things. Okay, otherwise, okay, I am this one thing has to be very clear. Okay, about in general about SNAP or NMAT is all the questions of SNAP, all the questions of NMAT are 100% doable questions. There is not a single question, okay, of NMAT or SNAP, okay, which we can say that this is going to be very difficult. ये solve नहीं हो सकता types, okay, like that. Every question is solvable, okay. All right. Suman, can you do the similar session for NMAT as well? So Suman, we had specific NMAT sessions. Okay, I think that was specifically for MBAP students. Okay, we've already done that, a series of 4-5 things, sessions over there. But in case you have anything specific, Suman, okay, we can take that. Or I scored 97 percentile in verbal, okay, of a full length mock. Afterwards, I gave sectional mock of verbal. I dropped to 80 percentile. How do I maintain scores? Okay. Good question. Okay, I will in fact take this. Okay, in the in the strategy session. Okay, like in today's discussion, we have a lot of things. Okay, to be done in terms of the agenda. Okay, so we'll cover that. Okay, when I come to that particular topic. All right. Because that's a little detailed discussion. Again, I anyways have that. Vimarsh, we do have that playlist of YouTube previous year on YouTube channel. Okay, if you come to our channel, okay, you will see there's a playlist which talks about all the previous year questions of CAT. Okay, specifically for LR. Okay, for cons. Okay, we do have. Just go and search MBA Pathshala. Okay, you will get that. Okay. For ZAT, see ZAT as such. The main part for that, okay, is between cons, and because they don't have a separate section only for logic, they have a section of verbal and logic together. If you see, okay, logic verbal together hai, and cons, okay, is going to be different. Now what happens is you have to be, for that, you firstly, the main important thing compared to CAT, okay, if I compare that to CAT, okay, the main important thing that we have is that you have to score, you have to do very less number of questions in terms of the number of questions that you are supposed to attempt. So that requires a lot of mental strength for that, okay, because you are supposed to skip a lot of questions. A lot of questions are on a tough side, which you are supposed to skip. So that is, I would say, it requires a little more on the mental strength, okay, than CAT, because you're supposed to skip a lot of questions and only few questions you're supposed to, attempt and get right. So that would be a challenging area. Okay. Otherwise, in terms of topics, whatever you're doing for CAT, okay, is the same thing for that. But yeah, in terms of the mock strategy, your attempts, okay, are going to be further more less than what you do in CAT. So you have to be very, very choosy, okay, about this. In fact, okay, today for LR, we are going to discuss that. For verbal also, we are going to discuss, because cons we've already discussed yesterday. Okay. So we'll be discussing about LR and verbal, about the question selection and all of that. Okay, great. So let's start. Okay, we can go ahead with this. Okay, so let me first quickly tell you, okay, what is the agenda, what are things we'll be doing, okay, over the next, 2 hours overall time, okay, that we have. So how do you plan? Okay, because this is the time where obviously you must have seen on our channels, okay, people are there, on our groups, okay, you must have seen it. There's a lot of college applications have already started off. Okay, CAT is something that is the first thing, okay, that happens in the month of August, okay, and then onwards colleges, okay, start their application fees, okay, application forms, and there's a long list of colleges, okay, that students have in front of them. And then obviously applying to these colleges is also something that requires a lot of budget planning. You cannot go randomly and start applying to all the colleges. Okay, so we're going to discuss about, okay, and we're going to talk about LRDI sets. Okay, what are the different types? Because as such, there is no particular syllabus for LRDI, no defined syllabus for LRDI, but based on the previous year papers, okay, based on the previous year, the type of questions, we can classify them into certain categories, and probably you can identify your areas, okay, of comfort zone, okay, or probably challenging areas like that. Okay, definitely set selection is the game changer for LRDI. Okay, and here for LRDI, I'm going to highlight one thing. People who think that, okay, they're not good in cons, okay, they have a very good opportunity when it comes to LRDI. Okay, because LRDI is a fair game. Okay, it's a puzzle set. Your background doesn't matter. Okay, you had a maths background, you did not have a maths background, there is no geometry, okay, nothing like that is there, okay, in this. So LRDI is something which is very, very fair, and there's no advantage that any engineer is going to have, or any human resource student is going to have like that. So LRDI definitely for people who don't like cons, okay, or don't want to, not able to do good in cons, for them LRDI is very important. Okay, so let's talk about the set selection strategy also in detail, okay, in today's session. Okay, and the verbal ability tips. Okay, and as I said, we will be taking some actual questions of CAT, okay, and solving them as well. So this is the agenda. Okay, and can I have a show of yes, everyone in the chat. Okay, so that I understand that you guys are all set to start off. Everyone, quick yes, 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 yes in the chat. Okay, I can see. Okay, all direct messages. Okay, great, great, great. Okay. All right. So, in fact, to start with the first point, okay, I mean, we have got someone who has got a lot of experience. Okay, so we have Professor Jaira sir. Okay, he has done his post graduation. Okay, from IIM Calcutta, and today we have him here. Okay, he's also a professor at Wellington College. Okay, so with all his experience, okay, from IIMs, okay, of 17 years of into teaching, so definitely he can help us. Okay, guide us a lot. Okay, also with regards to the application planning front, okay, of MBA colleges. Okay, so do we, Jara sir, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm very much here and I can hear you. Can I take over?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start off. Okay, you can just, so the first part of the agenda. Okay.
Yeah. Starting my video. Hey, hi guys, good evening. I'm just starting my video. I don't know. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Yeah. Not a problem.
I think like me, it's tired at the end of the day. It's not coming up video. Anyway, I'll just start talking and probably the video will come up in a moment. Yeah. So good evening, guys. I can see that there are 84 people logged into this meeting. So thank you for inviting me to speak to these students. So the whole idea is not to give any gyan, but just probably to share some of the experiences that I've had being a student of IIM Calcutta, the way I went about doing it. So it's just about experience sharing, nothing else. Okay. So let me start by briefly introducing myself. So currently I work for Wellington Institute of Management. I head the PGDM e-business program in our Bangalore campus. Okay. I've been with Wellington for the past almost 13 years now. A great place to be in. And qualification wise, yeah, I've done my engineering, followed by a few years of work experience. And that is when the cat bug bit me as well. And I joined the cat race. I was lucky enough in 96, I cracked the cat. That was some 26 years back. I got selected to IIM Calcutta. I finished my course from there, worked for some more years. And then I joined the academic world. I finished my PhD from Symbiosis. And during the course of my tenure with Wellington, I also had a chance to attend a course at Harvard Business School in Boston. So that probably was one of the highest, the zenith of my academic career, to have actually attended the actual classes at Harvard Business School, which is considered as the mecca of management education, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's a very brief introduction about myself. So I represent the IT side. I come from the information technology side, and I handle papers on information technology and all the allied areas which are linked to the management field. So I'm going to talk about two things today. See, one is how do you choose your B school, and I think that was the first point on the agenda, right? So what are the things that you need to choose when you look at a B school, right? I mean, what are the parameters that you should have which will help you to select a B school? See, one thing which is very clear. See, all B schools will talk a lot about placements, right? This person, that person. But my only submission would be, guys, don't just fall for the placement figures. Okay, so placement is something that you get at the end of the effort, right? So it should be it should be an outcome of whatever effort you have put in. Now you'll find in many colleges they may be putting up, that my highest package was 18 lakhs. But does that mean that everybody got 18 lakhs? No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, it could be a very select few who reach that at 18 lakhs. So much of it depends upon the amount of effort that you put in, the kind of faculty that are there in the college, the reputation, and in terms of placement also, what I would say is take a look at the previous few years placement and see how many companies are are repeated over the last few years. So that would be a very good indication of the quality of the education that is imparted in that particular institute, right? If I were to just take my own example, okay, see now for us, now we have been in Bangalore for the past almost 14 years now, maybe, yeah, 14 years. In these 14 years, Infosys has been there with us for the past 12 years, Accenture for the past 9 years. So on a regular basis, these companies are coming and picking up our students. And that is no wonder, because our alumni are doing fantastic work in the corporate. So the day the alumni starts cracking up, these companies will refuse to come to our campus. So that should be the first parameter when you look at the placements, right? Next, Look at the average package, of course, that is important, and see over the last 3 years whether the average package is going up or
Only
it is coming down.
I've done the code changes only for this talk to the but I didn't do anything.
Or it has remained. Okay, that is all. I
Just
think Mr. Varun, I think you will have to mute your mic.
Like
Yeah, thank you, Varun. Yeah. So if you look at the average package, so you have to take a look at whether the average package is going up, it is coming down, or it is remained flat. If it is flat, it is still okay. But if we find that it is coming down, then we definitely have a problem. Okay. And then always look at the lowest package. See, average always is a mix of highest and the lowest, right? So look at the lowest package and see in which direction it is moving. And another very important factor you need to consider is how many new companies have been added, because sometimes it is big risk to put eggs in one basket. So, and they plug 50% of the students and go, and next year that company doesn't come, so you're going to be in a big soup that time, right? So take a look at some of these points. So that is from the placement point of view, right? But that is not the only thing. The other thing should be how long the company, the institute has been in the market. That is very important, because probably I may not be very comfortable with a college that is just opened. It will take some time to establish itself. That is one important point. So don't get lured by things like foreign trips and free laptops and free tabs and all. See, these things are nothing, okay? They mean nothing, right? These are just the foreign trips are no big deal, right? Anybody can go. So do not get lured by these kind of additionals which some colleges claim, that they are providing. Okay. Apart from that, you should also take a look at what are the value adds the college is offering. See, of course, there will be a course structure, right? Maybe it's a 2-year course. You could be following a trimester pattern, or you could be following a semester pattern. So what is trimester? It means you're going to have 3 exams in a year. In semester, you're going to have it twice a year, right? Now, that's fine. But talking of these exams and all, that is very standard, and every college will have it. But apart from that, look at some of the other important aspects. And again, if I come back to my own Wellington campus, we offer something called as the Global Citizen Leadership Program, a very interesting program which we do along with the Center for Creative Leadership in the US. So there, students actually get to work on real life projects. So we talk about a lot of things like leadership and group dynamics and all that. But these are things which you cannot really learn without experiencing them. So these kind of projects will actually help you to do and learn. Okay? So that is one leadership program which is very unique to our camp. I'm just giving you 1 or 2 examples. Then we have a very interesting process called as an assessment center process. That is also something very unique to us. So like that, just look at what each of the colleges are offering in terms of uniqueness. That is also very important, right? Then we come to the academics part. Of course, we should take a look at the faculty, take a look at how many PhDs are there, take a look at the retention. That is also very important. Now, if you see that in a college, the churn rate of the faculty is very high, that means there is a very serious problem with the campus, because people are not happy. And when you're not happy, you're not able to kind of deliver, right? So look at, in general, because all this faculty profile will be there on the website. Go and take a look at if you were to take an average, how many years people have been there in the organization. Okay? So these are very important things which nobody will tell you in the books and all that. But from my own experience, I am telling you. Okay. Obviously, now we are all here to crack the IIMs, okay, and we are talking of ABC, right? We can do that. You don't even have to worry about these aspects, right? So everything will follow on its own. But unfortunately, not everyone will make the cut, because the supply is the demand is much more than the supply, right? So there are limitations. So in case you are not able to crack the top rank B schools, don't lose hope, because even if you look at tier 2 and even tier 3 colleges, they're also doing fantastic and phenomenal work, right? And I can assure you that a lot of these companies, sometimes they would prefer to go to tier 2 and tier 3 colleges. And I'll tell you the reason also. But what we are also sometimes experiencing, see, what they tell us is, if we go to a tier 1 like an IIM A or B, the problem is these people don't tend to stay back, So their dream is beyond India. I mean, they don't want to stay back in India. They want to just fly abroad. So it becomes a big problem for them. We will hire them, we will train them, we'll incur a huge cost, and then they'll just leave us and go. So some companies, they say that, okay, we will start with the tier 2 colleges, and that is where a lot of things are happening in today's business environment, right? So don't lose hope, and continue. I mean, apply to, like sir was telling you, you cannot. There's a budgetary issues. You cannot go on randomly applying to 100 colleges. That doesn't make sense at all, right? So you should have a few. Of course, the CAT is definitely there. The IIMs are definitely there. There is no second thought about that. No two ways about it. But when it comes to the next level of colleges, no, probably you should have at least 5 or 6 in your bucket list, and you should apply to them. Okay, and also look at colleges which accept not only the CATs or the ZAT scores, but maybe some 2 or 3 other exams as well. The reason being, if you don't fare well in CAT or ZAT, probably if you take those exams, you still have a chance of getting into that kind of a college. Okay, like if you look at, let's say, XLRI, they go by the ZAT, right? So you have only one chance. IIMs, CAT, one chance. But some other colleges may accept CAT, ZAT, ATMA, or some other exams as well. So keep that point also in mind. Okay. Yeah. So that was all about how do you choose a B school. That's very important. And the other aspect which comes up is how do you choose your specializations? Now this becomes a very tricky issue. I'll tell you why. And ideally speaking,
no, with regards to when students do this comparison of tier one,
with regards to when students do this comparison of tier 1, tier 1.
Yeah.
I'll just mute you for
I think I just lost the audio.
All right. Okay, so I'm saying that, okay, when it is tier 1, tier 2, okay, comparison, okay, where students have to take a call of doing an application, so they kind of try to put it across, okay, some in tier 1, some in tier 2, like that. Okay, now how important is the parameter of location? Because obviously, I mean, like if you go to tier 1, like say there's a IIM in Ahmedabad, okay, so Ahmedabad, even though it is a tier 2 city, okay, but still Ahmedabad, IIM Ahmedabad, okay, the brand itself, okay, is having a great pull. Okay, so when it is a tier 2 college, okay, how important does the location factor become? Are you able to hear me, sir? Yeah, you can unmute, sir. You're on mute. You can try to unmute, sir. Yes, we can hear now.
I'll just message. I'm not.
No, we can hear now.
Yeah. I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay. I missed out that point. The location. That was on my list. I somehow missed out. Thank you for pointing that out. See, again, when you look at these locations, see, that is very important. I mean, just to be fair, see, if you look at a college at an institute which is in one of the top metro cities, and when I say top metro city, I mean Bombay, I mean Pune, I mean Delhi, I mean Hyderabad, I mean Bangalore, I mean Chennai. So these are the top cities in the country. Let's face it. Okay, I mean there is no discussion on that. These are the most happening cities in the country as of now, in terms of economic growth or whatever you want to call it. Now, if you can get into a college in any one of these cities, see, one advantage you will get is the access to visiting faculty. So again, I'll again want to come back to my own college example because that's all I know. Being in Bangalore, we are located in a place called Electronic City. So we are surrounded by all these big IT companies, and all just name it, Infosys and Wipro and Siemens, just name it, we are all surrounded. So the one advantage we get is whenever we have any kind of guest sessions, whenever we have this kind of industry connect, we just have to reach out to them and they can actually walk down to our campus, and it is very easy for them also to come out of their office, meet our students, meet us, and then just go back, So that is a big advantage which we get in Bangalore. If you look at Mumbai again, it is a financial capital, right? You get access to the best financial minds. Delhi could be more on marketing. Chennai could be more of the operations side, right? So please look at, I mean, these should be on the top of your list, in any of these big cities where the things are actually happening. And one more thing, since we are talking about location, I would also like to mention, try to come out of your comfort zone, okay? Because management education cannot happen from home. Trust me, it can't happen from home. You have to be with your peer group. You have to be in a metropolitan kind of an environment, right, where you speak only business language. You need to meet people from all parts of the country, maybe the world. Adjust to each other's culture, because that is what will complete your education as a manager. Okay. See, education is not about attending class, taking down some notes, going and writing an exam. It's not about that. It's a lot about the experience. It's a journey. I would say that MBA is more of a journey rather than a degree. Okay. So try to come out of your comfort zone, right? So if you're from Delhi, try to move to Mumbai. If you're in Mumbai, try to move to Bangalore. If you're in Bangalore, try to move to Hyderabad. Try to go to a city where you don't have any relatives, you don't have anybody. You have to go and stay in a hostel, and then you see how life will change. The learning will be immense. It will be tremendous. I can assure you that. Okay, fine. So can I move to the next point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So these are some very, very important points. So I hope it made some sense to you. Now, the specialization I was talking about, see, it is a bit of a tricky matter, because many times in the interviews, people are asked this question. So given a choice, what specialization will you take? Now, sometimes I find that pretty funny, because you're still not entered an MBA program, right? And different colleges have different specializations, but the more general ones are marketing, finance, HR. These are definitely common across all B schools. You have operations in some colleges, you have systems in some colleges, and now, of course, analytics has become a big fad now. Apart from that, they have a lot of niche kind of areas. So the question is put to you: what specialization will you take? Okay, and you say marketing. Let's say, okay. And then what happens? If your luck is bad, the person on the other side might be a marketing guy. And then he will start firing you on marketing questions. Right? So then you're trapped. Okay. It can also work in a different way. The guy on the other side is an operations guy. And he'll say, what? You don't even consider operations. Do you know that operations runs business, and then it'll go into a different direction altogether, right? So how do you play safe, right? So what I advise my, people who come to me for advice is, a very safe way is, you can always say that I have not really decided, because I know that in the first year of every B school course, they put you through all these preliminary or the introductory courses in marketing, in finance, HR, operations. So that is the point where you actually get to understand where your interest lies. Okay? So you can always say that after I go through the preliminary courses, the introductory courses, and after I complete my internship, I would really want to decide on what specialization I want to choose. And that is a very safe answer. And you can say, yeah, I do have some interest in marketing, I have some interest in finance, but I think it's not a very good idea to really stress on the fact that I want finance, and then, if the guy on the other side is a finance guy, then you're in trouble then. Okay. Right? So this is one small trick which I can share with you. And sometimes these tricks can actually work wonders. Right? So apart from that, in the real scenario, how do you choose specialization? See, you need to have an inclination. Okay. Now, if you look at the IIMs, for example, they don't offer specializations. Your first year courses are all common. Everyone has to take every course. When you come to your second year, they'll give you a basket of courses, and you'll have to choose a certain number from them in whatever combination you want. Now, in my case, I had a combination of marketing, systems, and finance. Okay. So that was the combination I had taken. So you can choose whatever combination you want. And that is actually a very, very kind of a advanced or a novel way of doing things. But a lot of B schools have still not adopted that. They still go by the concept of specialization. Fair enough. Right? So how do you choose them in real life? See, if you're not good at numbers, if numbers scare you, finance is not for you. Okay? Let's face it. Right? If you're not a very people-friendly person and people don't interest you, maybe HR is not good for you. Right? Again, if you don't like targets and you want to live, you want to stay in a very comfortable, cozy, air-conditioned environment, maybe marketing is not for you, right? So sometimes, we choose specializations by elimination. Like what I don't want will lead to what I want, okay? So that is one way of looking at it, but that is not a very good way of doing it. So since you have decided that you want to go for a management course, I think you should have some inclination towards one of these specializations, right? And nowadays, like I said, analytics is very hot, okay? Every B school is offering, and there are multiple opportunities for analytics students. But if you don't have a basic grounding in mathematics and statistics, I don't think you'll become very successful in an analytic career, okay? Right? Because you should be able to read numbers, and you should be able to interpret them. See, tools will help you to crunch the numbers, okay? Huge amount of data, what you call as big data, can be crunched. But once the that processed information comes to you, how do you adapt that? That is where your skill will lie. Okay. So if you're a person who doesn't really is not very fond of quants, maybe you should not look at analytics. Okay. So don't go by what we call as the herd mentality. Just because your best friend has chosen marketing, don't go behind the best friend. Okay? And remember, in this world there are no best friends. Okay, in a management world there is no best friend. It's every man and woman for himself or herself, right? So these are some of the things I thought I'll share with you. But maybe we can have another session on these when we come to the interview part. I can definitely have a session with you and give you maybe some more pointers as to some of the very common questions that are asked and the way you can handle these questions. So that is that. I think I'll stop there because I think we have a 2-hour session now after this.
But in case anyone has any questions with regards to a specific specialization, okay, I think Jaira sir would definitely be the right person to.
Yeah. I would love to answer them if I can, definitely. So
I have one thing, okay, meanwhile to ask, because you mentioned, okay, that obviously analytics is something where people who have knack towards numbers, okay, so for them analytics is a good specialization. But considering the opportunities or the kind of scope that we see in the market, okay, definitely we hear a lot about this e-business, okay, or analytics, okay, a lot of things is coming over there. So students who are probably not that good with numbers, okay, how did they get into this field, or what they should do in order to make themselves up to that mark?
See, I'll tell you. See, the course that we offer, it's a new course we have started in Bangalore 2 years back. It's called as the PGDM in Research and Business Analytics, right? If you look at some of the courses, it includes a lot of mathematics, quant. For example, we have a deep learning, machine learning. Okay. So what happens is you need to have that grounding is important. You should be able to understand it. See, it is possible that you may not have. See, I'll tell you what. Let me put it this way. There are people who drop mathematics at a graduation level, right? They drop mathematics, and then when they come to MBA, they struggle. Because you have to go through the basic courses in mathematics for management, statistics. You have to go through. You have to go through operations research. So these things, then again, they find it a bit tough, to cope up. But I know examples of people who have actually coped up. So a lot of self-effort is required. So I'm not completely discounting this, but if you're a person who's actually scared of numbers, then I think analytics you'll not fit into analytics. That at some point you will give up. But again, see here when I'm talking about analytics person, you're not a statistician. Okay, you're not a person who's going to sit and work out those horrible equations in statistics. No, I won't say horrible, but those tough equations in statistics. You may not have to do that. You may have to work on data visualization. But you know what happens if you're good with numbers now? Sometimes by intuition, by looking at set of numbers, you can understand a lot of things. You don't have to actually get into detailed calculations. So that is something which comes from within. Okay, so that comes from passion. Without passion, this thing cannot be really handled. Okay. So I think there are 2 questions here. Yes. So can you just read them out for me, because somehow I don't know, my system is a bit slow today.
Arvi is asking that should we keep our options open, okay, by going for a general MBA, or we should go for a specialized MBA?
Okay. See, okay, let me put it this way again. See, a general MBA would be akin to an MBA or a PGDM with the typical specializations, right? Okay. Now, when you're talking about specialized MBA, for example, let's say I talk of my program e-business, right? Now, please understand, my e-business program is also an MBA program. Okay, it's a full-fledged PGDM program. It has all the contents that a PGDM will study, right? There is no change at all. In addition to that, I'm going to have certain courses in technology which will help my students to crack the interviews in IT companies and help them to play managerial roles in IT projects. And let me tell you that 70% of my placements happen from IT companies in Bangalore. 70%. Okay, that has been the standard average, right? So the fact that I'm trying to say here is that if you take a specialized course also, that will have the full management component, right? So now the choice is yours now, right? So let's say you have an inclination for healthcare. So you're doing a PGDM, which is nothing but a PGDM, right? It is a PGDM with all the management subjects into it. But at the same time, you're also getting exposed to the healthcare stuff. So your chances are better. So let's say you come from a pharma background, right? So then for you to crack one of those big hospital chains and all will be just a cakewalk. So that is how it is. Okay. Okay, there was one more question. I'm just still not able to open the chat box.
There's
Can you
some,
just tell me?
I mean, it's about suggesting some courses for IT students.
Your voice is breaking. Audio
Is it like there's the question is suggest some courses for IT students?
Some courses. See, best I would suggest is look at certifications. Okay, look at certifications. See, if you go to Upgrad, okay, or Udemy and all that, they'll have some fantastic courses. Very short-term courses, very focused. So again, IT is a huge area. Okay, IT is a huge area. So look at the area that is kind of interest to you. Now, maybe something like a blockchain might be of interest to you. At the same time, cloud may not be of interest to you, right? So you can just go and take a look at blockchain, and if not, certification also. My suggestion would be, see, there are n number of videos on YouTube. Fantastic videos that explain the concepts in such great and simple manner. Please take a look at that. And in fact, if I meet you again, guys, before your interview, this is one of the points I will stress on, because now many colleges are insisting on a small, at least some flair in technology. Because today's managers cannot be managers unless you have a bit of flair in technology as well as a bit in analytics. You need to have both built into it. Again, they need not be at a great level. Okay, you don't have to create technology, but you should know where to apply technology. So that is where you can differentiate, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
And then there was a question here, sir, any suggestion for freshers, right? See, please understand again, guys, this question keeps coming every year. The difference between freshers and experienced people, right? So who gets a better chance, right? Okay. So let me answer this a bit diplomatically. See, for a person who's got 5 years of work experience, it actually becomes a bit difficult to place him. Now, the reason being that many companies feel that such a person will have to unlearn and relearn. Okay, unlearn and relearn. So that takes it becomes a bit rigid. But if you're looking at absolute freshers, it's like catch them young, mold them, and watch them grow. Okay. So in fact, this year, I mean, recently only, in my current batch, ICICI Bank offered internships to many students, and 16 of them, absolute freshers, they got the PPOs. Okay, zero experience, right? So both has its own advantages. But then on the other side also, some companies come and say we want minimum 2 years of work experience. So 2 to 3 years of work experience we need. So every year this requirement keeps changing. It is not fixed, and companies will not reveal to us as to why they are doing this. So they will not tell us the parameters for shortlisting the CVs. So all we can do is we can just carry on with whatever we are doing. Okay. Okay. Next, I've got a question from Sharanya Bakchi. Hello, I have an MCOM degree in accounting and finance that got finished last year in August. I have a lag of 1.5 years in the career without any work ex. Okay. See, again, this is a very important question you raised, Sharanya. Now, typically when we as interviewers, I also conduct a lot of interviews. When we go through the CV, these things are highlighted, that you have a 1.5 year lag. Okay. Now, 1.5 years is not bad. Let me be very frank. So the alarm bells actually ring if you see there is a 3 or 4 year lag, like between graduation and your first first company, we see that there is a 4 year lag. Now that really rings alarm bell. So 1.5 is not very alarming. But again, 1.5 year lag is a lag, right? So the way you can handle this would be, you can help out a friend who had a startup, and maybe you can create a friend like that, who's had some kind of startup. So basically what people want to see at the interview is that you have not wasted your time, okay, by just whiling away those 1.5 years. Like you were trying something. See, trying something is not bad, okay, because people we as interviewers want to see candidates who experiment, who are not very rigid in that sense, who have that willingness to learn, who know that they can make mistakes, but from the mistakes they can learn, right? So try to justify those 1.5 years. You've been trying to learn something, you've been trying to add some value to whatever you've already learned. So you have to go in that direction. Okay, that is a very safe way of answering these questions, rather than saying that I did nothing, I just sat at home. So that will not be a very good answer to me. Okay. So I hope that answers the question, right? Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Thank you to you, Sharan. Okay. Yeah.
You pretty much covered, okay, everything. But yeah, I mean, a lot is still there. Okay, students have their own questions. Okay, coming up. Okay, with CA backgrounds, analytics, and because you come from your specialty in academics is also into IT sector. So IT plus management, I think that is something in today's world. Okay, the best of the consulting profiles and everything is coming in that
Yeah,
sector. Okay.
See, for example, like all the big four, EY, KPMG, then Deloitte, and the other one, Pricewaterhouse. So all of them take our students, okay, and they are the big four consultants. So our students go there, and they get good profiles like enterprise risk services. So all those kind of things are also there.
I think so probably post CAT. Okay, sometime in December.
Yeah.
I think connect on this.
December we can definitely connect back again.
Yes.
And probably we can have more discussion on the interview part of it, how to handle questions and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for giving me an opportunity. It's already 9:37 by my clock. But unfortunately, I mean, whenever I meet these youngsters, I don't know, I don't feel tired at all. Okay. So today whole day I had sessions and all. I was actually tired when I came home, but I don't know. Somehow I've been charged up again. Fine. So thanks a lot, Haider, for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I'll leave now. And
Sure.
probably we'll connect back later. And all the best to all of you. Okay. See, remember one thing I'll tell you about CAT exam. Okay. See, nobody can guess how the exam is going to be like, right? You are as good or as bad as anybody else. So don't think that somebody else is an engineer and I have done an arts background, so I cannot make it. Do not think like that. It is just like a 2020 match. Okay. So on that day, if you are fit, if you're mentally strong and mentally fit, you can crack it. Trust me. Okay. Because the mathematics is not very difficult, and as we were mentioning, the DL, that the DI and LR, so they don't have any particular syllabus. It is all about the way your mind works. If you keep your mind active, okay, if you keep your mind active, and if you keep yourself really physically and mentally fit on the day of the exam, you can actually work wonders. Okay? So don't panic. Don't take tension. Okay, it's not going to help. It's not the end of the world. Okay, don't take tension. Just okay. Don't be casual also. I mean, think that this is the biggest exam of your life. So go and just crack it. That's all. Okay. So all the best from my side, and I really hope that all of you, reach your dream colleges sooner than later. Okay. So on that note, I think I'll stop now. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. So I'll leave now. Okay. Bye.
All right. So continuing ahead, okay, with the agenda, as I said, okay. So we are, I think, sir, very much, covered everything that how you should plan your applications, okay, considering all the specializations, colleges, okay, and everything. Okay. So going ahead, okay, with regards to the next part, okay, because yesterday what we covered was cons. Okay, we pretty much covered cons. Okay. Now today, okay, we're going to focus on LR, okay, and then verbal also. So what I want, okay, if students, you guys can put some specific queries, okay, so that I can also get that what is the main pain point that students have with regards to LRDI. Okay, so LRDI mein kya challenges hai, okay, what are you exactly facing, okay, probably you can put some questions. I can just structure my entire session with regards so that I answer your questions as well, okay, and okay, also cover my part. All right. So how do I approach any set? Okay. All right. How do I find the easy set? Okay. All right. So you can keep posting. Okay. Meanwhile, as I said, so I'll pick up those questions in between my explanation. Okay, and also answer that. Now, first thing here, okay, that we need to understand is looking at the different types of LRDI set. Okay. Now, I mean, is there any official type defined anywhere? Okay, that these are the 6 types. There's no as such. Okay, there's no official list of LRDI. Okay, as per the syllabus. In fact, you will not see. I have not put anything which is games and tournaments. I have not put here. Okay, why I have not put here? Because ultimately, most of the games tournaments questions are based on maths. Okay, so based on cons. So that would come under this category. Okay, some of the games tournaments can be based probably on a team selection. Okay, so it can be a team selection set. So as Jaira sir just mentioned, okay, that in LRDI what you have to work on, okay, is just to be mentally strong. Okay, and you don't need any base of maths, anything, okay, verbal, any previous subject is not required in LRDI except for you to be mentally strong to solve these kind of sets. So whatever I give you the tricks, techniques, approach, and all of that, okay, that is only going to work, okay, if you have tuned your mind for those things. For example, okay, I'll solve, okay, LR set, okay, I'll again show you how to approach. I'll tell you how to identify a easy set, okay, you know, all of that. I'll tell you that. But Adeline, okay, important chapters to focus in LRDI. If you ask me that question specifically for CAT, there is no list of chapters as such. Okay, what you have to do is you have to focus on those previous year papers, because no material out there in the world, okay, is going to be as close, okay, to the actual CAT questions. So what we have already given you, okay, so we have given you the past papers, okay, you have to go and solve them. That is like a must do. I've told this many times, okay, in my previous sessions, videos as well, okay. So I'll just repeat that part here as well, that previous year papers, previous year LR sets are the best set for it, are the best material for it, okay. Now I'll tell you what is the challenge, okay. When I tell anyone to do it, okay, they start solving it, and then what happens? Then probably one set, two set, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and then they say, sir, itna dimag lagta hai, itna time lagta hai question ko solve karne mein, and then you eventually give up. Okay, you eventually give up, right? अब यहाँ पे होता क्या है? So let's take a simple example. Okay, I do give this example many times. Okay, so let's say someone is going for weight loss. Okay, अगर वो पहले दिन जाके jog करता है, okay, jogging करता है जाके, कुछ नहीं, I mean let's forget gym also. Okay, आपको weight loss करना है, आप let's say you are at 80 kgs and you have to reach at 70 kgs. Okay, आपने पहले दिन जाके किया, क्या आपके पहले दिन कोई आपका weight कम हो जाता है क्या? आपके दूसरे दिन भी weight कम होता है क्या? You will not see, okay, any change in your, at least अगर थोड़ा बहुत 0.2, 0.3 kg अगर आपको weighing scale में दिख भी रहा है, even if you see that, do you see anything visible change? आप बोलोगे मैं एक हफ्ते से कर रहा हूँ, मैं jogging कर रहा हूँ, okay, but there is no visible change at all. Does that mean that, okay, there is no change happening? It's a body that you're talking about, okay? क्यों मैं ये आपको body का example दे रहा हूँ? End of the day, when you start solving LRDI sets, and let's say you have done it for 1 week, and you see that कि 1 week में अभी ऐसा कोई speed नहीं बढ़ा आपका, okay, you probably have not like learned, or rather you have not started solving a lot of sets correct, अभी भी आप बहुत सारे sets wrong करते हो, एक हफ्ते से कर रहे हो, for example. Does that mean, okay, that yes, Riya will take care of that. So what I was saying is that if you start solving LRDI sets, and let's say you do it for 1 week, and in that 1 week you face a lot of challenge, okay, probably you are not able to solve most of the LR sets on your own. Does that mean, okay, that are you not growing in your preparation? Because a lot of people take this, a lot of students, okay, take this, okay, as an output. Sir, I've been doing it for last 1 week. I've done, let's say you told me, sir, to do 2-3 sets. I'm doing 2-3 sets. I've done 20 sets, 25 sets, 30 sets in the past 1 week, okay, 10 days time. But sir, I'm still at the same level. Same logic of that weight loss. You do jogging for 1 week. Are you going to see any change in your body? Obviously not, right? But does that mean there is no change happening inside your body? There are things changing which will not show you, okay, in the first week. Probably it need a little more time to show you visible results. Similarly, when it is LRDI, okay, and when you start solving these puzzle sets, 2-3 sets on a regular basis, your first 10 days, first 1 week might not show you a lot of change, okay, but you keep on doing that for like 15 days, okay, this last month which is remaining, I'm telling you, you do it for next 15 days also, you will see a very good change. The point is this: do that 2-3 sets every day. That is going to build that logical thinking mindset. It's a mindset that you have to develop. Okay, it's like a lifestyle change that you are going to do. Okay, so understand this expectation that you did 2-3 sets for 1 week and you did not see any change is a wrong expectation. Okay, it's a wrong expectation. So what you have to be good at, okay, you have to be good at this level where you actually start solving sets, okay, for 15 days back to back every day with 2-3 sets, okay, and that is going to bring a lot of change out there. Okay, coming to this point, okay, of how to attempt a LRDI section. Okay, coming to this point, okay, of how to attempt LRDI section. Now, when a lot of people are asking me here that, sir, how to identify the first set, okay, how to identify the easiest set, tell me, when you have, okay, I mean, typically let's go with the last year pattern, okay, where you had 20 questions on LRDI. Okay, LRDI is like, you will get probably 4 sets. I mean, last year you had 4 sets. Okay, so let's say 6 question set, 4 question set, 6 question set, 4 question set. This is what happened last year. This year it might be a 5555 also, or it can be 5564 or whatever. We don't know. But I mean, you should expect around 4 or a maximum of 5 sets. Okay, but mostly there are chances that you will get 4 sets only. Now that you are going to get, let's say for example, okay, we are going to get 4 sets. First understand, okay, in order to get a 99 percentile, okay, in order to get a 99 percentile in LRDI, you would need, let's say out of 20 questions, even if you are getting 9 or 10 questions correct, you are very close to 99. If not 99, at least 98, okay, or 97, something like that. Okay. If no 9 to 10 questions. That means technically, okay, if you solve one set complete, let's say, which is the most easiest set, okay, let's say the second set you are not able to do completely, which is a very normal scenario. Okay, a lot of people are not able to do the second set completely. Yes, some people are able to do that. Okay, but let's say you out of this in this second set, okay, you are able to do probably just 2 questions from this. Okay, and the third set, okay, again you're doing 2 or 3 questions from this. So this sequencing of the set is also important, and obviously the first set becomes so crucial. Okay, many times, okay, people come to this easy set towards after 15-20 minutes of LRDI section. You have only 40 minutes time. So if you're missing 15-20 minutes, you're definitely losing on a major part of your LRDI section. Now here, what do you have to do? Understand, look at the parameters, okay, how, and let's imagine a situation of an exam, okay, in front of you. If you have an exam situation in front of you, what will happen? Okay, firstly, this is going to be LR and there's DI. Okay, so there is definitely going to be some questions, okay, which will be based on some graphs, okay, pie chart, bar chart, and all that. So let's take a parameter, okay, some people say that, sir, I'm good in LR. Some people say that, sir, I'm good in DI. Okay. Yes, I mean, there can be a logical input in DI set. There can be a DI input to a logical set. Yes, that matters. But on a whole, okay, there you might have some set, okay, on a LR, some set on DI. Okay. Now you can have a 3 sets on LR, 1 on DI, 3 on DI, 1 on LR, whatever. Okay. So we cannot discuss about that. But the second parameter, okay, is that once you look at a set, you can probably make a understanding that this is LR. Okay, this is DI. That's the first thing. After this, you are going to definitely look at the length of it. Right? Without even reading, you will first see the length. Oh, this is so big. Oh, there's so much numbers. Okay. So the second thing is length that you will see. Right? And what is the third thing? Okay. The third thing is after looking at the length, okay, after looking at the LRDI, okay, you will go and start reading the set. And when you read, okay, if the set is something that you are able to understand, okay, what the set is saying. Many times you read and you like, I cannot understand what the set is saying. Now, how do you improve this understanding is something that I told you before. By doing this 2-3 sets everyday basis. The more you keep on doing, your brain, okay, is getting used to understanding LRDI sets. Okay. So these are the 3 things which is going to happen with you, okay, in your LRDI section when you give those mocks, when you attempt this paper. Now the point is this. First thing first, something which is, let's say, so if I put in this category, okay, you say that you're able to understand. So let's say it is easy to understand. Something which is easy to understand, but it is lengthy. Easy to understand, it is lengthy. Okay. And then you say that, okay, some people say that, sir, but it is DI and DI is not something that I'm good at. Now this becomes a problem with lot of students. Why? If you are keeping this blinders, no, I'm going to skip DI. DI I'm not going to do. Or if 4 sets are going to come, what will happen if the easiest set is a DI set? What are you going to do with that? And let's say the LR set, which is actually level 2 LR set, there is no level 1 LR set is not even there in the paper. Let's say, for example, what are you going to do in that case? Completely screwed. Right? In that case, you're completely screwed. So one thing, okay, that you need to understand is you should never leave complete LR, complete DI. The most important parameter is not LR or DI, is not the length. It is, are you able to understand the set or not? So develop that understanding with those 2-3 sets every day. 15 days is still a game changer. Okay, here in this case. Okay. And if you are able to understand the set, Even if it's lengthy, no worries. No worries if it's lengthy, it does not, okay. I mean, there are a lot of times, okay, where a lengthier set, okay, is a easier set, okay, and then people do that and they get all the questions correct. So the very first important thing is read the set, okay, and see are you able to understand the set or not. If you're able to understand, if it is not lengthy, perfect, that's the perfect match. Then you have to do that. Like the first set, it's not lengthy also, it's not, no, it's something that is understandable also. Go and attempt that. Okay, if it is, let's say, understandable, but probably it is a DI and you have another LR set which is understandable and LR. So understandable LR is a better combination for you compared to understandable DI. So you can put that before. Okay. I hope no, these students have asked me this question. Okay, so Tanuj, okay, and other students also. Okay, that how to identify a LRDI. Okay, now these three parameters. So what you should do is, okay, let's say the moment you start LRDI, okay, you start reading this set. Okay, before every set, okay, once you read, okay, in your rough paper, just write, okay, this is DI. Okay, this is something understandable. This is lengthy. Yes, anyone?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes, you can put in the chat. Okay, that will be convenient. Okay, Rishi. Yes. Sumant, I'm coming to that. Okay, so if you read, okay, the first set, just write down DI hai, understandable hai. Now understandable is based on you. Okay, lengthy hai. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, and similarly read the second. Okay, quickly write. This is LR. This is understandable. This is not lengthy. Okay, like that. Similarly, okay, do this, okay, do this, do this, do this. Okay, the same thing you do. How much time you will take for doing this? You will take probably what, like around 1 minute, okay, per set, okay, in order to do this. So a maximum of 5 minutes, okay, is required for this. And wherever you see understandable, the most understandable set, okay, that you have, okay, is the one that you should do first. Okay, that let's say, okay, this is the set number 1 is the one that is not the most easiest to understand. Okay, you'll go with this. Okay, so and let's say something, okay, you say that, okay, no sir, it is little difficult to understand, but still, I mean, it is not that lengthy. Okay, it is LR, rest are DI left. Okay, and no, I have already solved the most easiest DI set. Okay, then I can go with this as second set. So it depends, okay, with those parameters, but in 5 minutes, okay, you can do that. Okay, Rishi, mocks में score नहीं आ रहे हैं, okay, which is a very normal scenario. As I said, okay, it is something, it is not going to show you drastic results. Okay, like one day एकदम से change हो गए scores, that will not happen. So you have to take, you know, go this hard way. This is the hard way, is the only way. There is no easy way out there. Okay, everyone has to go through this, you know, this grind, okay, is required. Okay, grill yourself, लगे रहना पड़ेगा, दिन रात करना पड़ेगा. Okay, only then you are going to, you know, find increase, okay, in your scores. So developing a logical thinking mindset is not a one-day affair. It's not a two-day affair. Okay. हाँ, so what could be the reason? Okay, so जब आप कहते हो ना कि मॉक में सॉल्व नहीं हो रहे हैं, बाद में सॉल्व हो जाते हैं. So one of the reason is that you are, that mindset, you know, is also a problem many times, that you put yourself in a very uncomfortable, you know, mindset there. Okay, you put yourself in that pressure situation. So अगर आप मॉक के बाहर हो, so you are in a very free zone. Okay, जब मॉक के अंदर हो, okay, so you are in a pressure situation. So you have to build, you have to talk to yourself that don't let that pressure come on you. एकदम relax, free mind के साथ आपको देना है मॉक. Okay, so this happens a lot of students. Pressure नहीं होता है तो सब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो रहा है, प्रेशर है तो सॉल्व ही नहीं हो रहा है. सेम क्वेश्चन बाद में सॉल्व हो गया, पहले नहीं सॉल्व हुआ. क्यों हुआ? इट इज ओनली दैट बिकॉज़ you are putting unnecessary pressure, टाइम लिमिट का प्रेशर लेके भाग रहे हो. That's why. Okay, it is advisable to try all sets by not attempting every question of each set or not. Muskan, I mean, probably what I understand is, see, firstly, okay, I'm also giving you, you know, like one of those analysis that we did in LRDI. It is kind of impossible for anyone to solve more than 75%, okay, of the paper. Okay, it is impossible. National rank 1 also cannot solve, okay, more than 75% of the paper of LRDI, particularly I'm talking about. That means what? Okay, when you say that, okay, you know, you should, it is advisable to solve all the sets. Obviously, the answer is wrong. It is not, because then Out of 75 is like the best, the most smartest, okay, of those 2 lakh people who are going to give CAT, okay, probably will be able to solve 75% of the paper. Okay. Normal students who might be anywhere in 95, 96 percentile, okay, they might be able to solve somewhere around 60, 60 or 50% of the paper. So definitely it is not advisable to solve all the questions. Okay. Be very choosy, okay, about the first set. And one more thing, it is very important to stay calm. One of my students missed 15 minutes of her LRDI section because she chose a wrong set. But she had given mocks, okay, and these kind of blunders she has done in her mocks as well, and she had that learning from the mock that if this happens, okay, you have to be calm down and be clear that okay, that means the set that I've chosen, okay, was wrong. That means the easiest set is still remaining. So she was calm down enough, okay, and then the 2 sets which were remaining were actually the easiest set, okay, and the rest 20-25 minutes, whatever was left, okay, she attempted those 2 questions, got it correct, and cleared, okay, I think more than 90 percentile, okay, in LRDI section. Overall, okay, she was able to convert COSI code, okay, is what I remember. Okay, so even if 15 minutes goes wrong, what you should know is that, okay, I mean, the sets that you have tried, okay, were a wrong set. Now the sets which are left, okay, are a better set. But I would say alarm sign. Okay, I would not recommend that. The student what she did. Okay, that 15 minutes she wasted. This is not good. Okay, maximum time is 3 minutes. Maximum time. Okay, let's say 5 minutes goes into scanning. Okay, 35 minutes are left. 3 minutes you invested on a set, and you still see that you're not progressing. Abhi bhi kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha. You're still confused. You're not going anywhere. Okay, move out of this. Skip this now. Don't go inside it. If you're making progress, if you see that, okay, 3 minutes have gone, okay, yes, I've solved, let's say 30%, okay, 40% of the set, okay, is almost done, okay, I've made sense of it. Yeah, then go ahead. But if you are going, if 3 minutes have gone and you're still confused, you're still not able to understand what the set is saying, then it's a mistake that you're going, okay, when you. So let's be clear with this, okay, that is important, okay, where you have to take care of such things, okay, in terms of just a minute. Yeah. All right, so this is there. Okay, now let's quickly, okay, I think, okay, we have Avinash sir has already joined us. Okay, so let's quickly solve this set, okay, once, okay, so that, okay, and then we can move to verbal. Okay, this is from an actual CAT paper, okay, and it's a very standard, okay, very good high quality question, okay, which is there. Try to read it. Okay, this I have just divided this into 2 slides. Okay, so this is one slide. This is this is the first slide. This is the second slide. Okay, it's the same question, just I have broken down into 2 parts. Okay, a mathematician, okay, assigned a Erdos number. Okay, it is there. Okay, they have assigned a Erdos number named after a famous mathematician, Paul Erdos. Only Paul Erdos himself has an Erdos number of 0. Okay, that means, okay, Paul Erdos, his number is 0. Okay, any mathematician who has written a research paper with Erdos has an Erdos number of 1. Okay, that means if someone has written with Paul Erdos, okay, let's say I would say A has written down with A is written down with Paul Erdos. So his this number is going to be 1. That's what the question is saying till now. Okay. Okay, I mean, I'm reading one sentence and telling you what it is meaning, okay, so that it becomes easier for you to understand. Paul Erdos is going to have, okay, a number of 1. Anyone who is writing with Paul Erdos, let's say co-authoring, 2 people writing together, okay, no, so this person who is writing with Paul Erdos, okay, will have a number of 1. Okay, all right. For other mathematicians, the calculation of his or her Erdos number is illustrated below. So any other person. Suppose a mathematician X co-authored with several other mathematicians. From among them, mathematician Y has the smallest Erdos number. Okay, perfect. So someone has got Y has got the smallest Erdos number, and X has co-authored with a lot of people. Let the Erdos number of Y be Y. Okay, so this person Y is there. His Erdos number is a small y. Okay, then X has a Erdos number of Y plus 1. Okay, that means this is important. From among them, that means X has co-authored with several mathematicians from among them. That means X is co-authoring with Y. and in that case, X number is Y plus 1. What do you mean from this? That means if you are co-authoring with someone else, I mean, this is not a scenario with Paul Ados. Okay. If you are co-authoring with Paul Ados, then your number becomes 1. But if you are co-authoring with anyone else, your number will become just plus 1 of his number. Everyone, is this part making sense? Give me a yes in the chat if this is making sense. Okay. So this is the only thing in these 5 lines. Okay, this is what they have they have explained. So that Paul Ados has got a number 0. Someone going with and writing with Paul Ados will have number 1. And if there are someone else, okay, whatever his Ados number is, if someone is co-authoring with him, then his Paul Ados number is going to be plus 1 of that. Perfect. Chalo. So this is the scenario. Okay, here. Now, if I come to this part, okay, which is where they're saying that at the beginning of the conference, now they're saying that something is happening with the beginning of the conference. A was the only participant who has a infinite, okay, Ados number. Okay, so there are how many people are there? Okay, I think they have just a minute. Okay, I think there was okay. So I probably a line is missing from here. Okay, so there were a total of 8. These authors. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay, there were a total of now 8 people out there. Okay, which you can see it is mentioned here also. Say A was having a Ados number of infinity. Okay, remember this. A is at infinity. Okay. Nobody has an Ados number less than F. So F is having the minimum. Okay, just write it down here. F is having the minimum. Okay. So this is at the start. Right, this is at the start. I don't know. This is what is going to happen afterwards. That we'll have to read. But this is at the start. Okay, that A is having infinity and F is having minimum. On 3rd day of conference. So here we have the 3rd day of conference. On 3rd day of conference, F co-authored a paper with A and C. So F is going to have A and C. This reduced the average Ados number of the group of mathematicians to 3. Now this is something which is important to understand. F, let's say, now I don't know about F. Okay, so let's say F was X. Okay, for example, I'm putting X here. Now, what will happen when F, when A and C is co-authoring with F? When F, you see that, co-authoring, what will happen to A? A will become nothing but X plus 1. Right? A will become nothing but X plus 1. Similarly, this C will also become X plus 1. And this is this is going to be the same, which is the minimum. Right? Why is this happening? This is happening because of the co-authoring rule, which was explained here in the previous thing. Okay, this entire thing, co-authoring rule, X plus 1 and all that. Now, what is happening from here onwards? That here they are saying that the average reduced. Now that means the total. I mean, there are 8. The average was 3. That means total would have been how much? 8 3s are 24. So total of 8 people, is 24. The total of all the 8 Ados number is 24. Okay. Now coming to this part, which is going ahead. The Ados number of B, D, E, G, H remain unchanged. B, D, E, G, and H remain unchanged. The 5, they are not changing. Further, no other co-authorship among the 3 numbers would have reduced the Ados number of the group to as low as 3. That means, this 3 has come only by changing of A and C. No other change would have brought this thing to 3. Okay, chalo, okay, for now, I don't think this is adding any value. At the end of the 3rd day, 5 members of this group has identical Ados number. That means the 3rd day ke baad kya ho raha hai? 3 people have same Ados number. Sorry, 5 people have same Ados number. Now tell me, can you tell me what can be that? What can be that Ados number which is same for 5 people? Can that be X, 5X, X, 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 X? Is that possible? Yes, no in the chat. Can I have X, 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 X? Is that possible? No. Good one, Satyam. Okay, it's no. Why it is no? Because X is the minimum, right? It is given to you that F is having the minimum possible figure. Nobody has Ados number less than of F. Okay, so it's a minimum figure. That is there. Can be X plus 1. All right, good one. Okay, can be X plus 1. Perfect. In fact, it can be X. So let's check one more thing. If I put here if I put one thing, okay, let's say like I put y, I put y, I put y, I put y. There are 5 y's, for example, if I put. Okay. Here you should read this statement. At the end of day 5, okay, 5 members of this group are identical ADOS number, while the other 3 are distinct from each other. So if I take 5y here, I can see x plus 1 coming 2 times. Is this possible? Can I have 5y also? No, even that is not possible. What I'm doing here, okay, we are building up, okay, on our logical thinking approach. That is what we are doing, okay. So the 5y is also not possible. That means the only possibility is that you can have 5x plus 1. Everyone, okay, I can have 5, okay, I can have 5x plus 1. Okay. Now, here what's happening further? If I see on 5th day, E co-authored a paper with F, okay, we reduce the average by 0.5. Now here, it is further reducing by 0.5. That means, okay, the average is coming down to 2.5 now. The average was 3 first. Now it came down to 0.5. So average is becoming 2.5. That means the total is becoming 8 into 2.5, which is 20. Okay. On 5th day, E co-authored. So E co-authored with F, that means this becomes x plus 1 again. This is 5th day that we are talking about. This is x, okay, and this becomes x plus 1. Why x plus 1? Because E co-authored with F. So F was x, so this becomes here. What do you also understand from this? That this change of 4, this drop in 4 has come only because of E, right? This drop of 4 from 24 to 20, this drop has come only because of x plus 1. So this was earlier, this was x plus 5. Can I say this? Right? So this can be a x plus 5. And now because it is x plus 5, okay, here, let's read further, okay. The ADOS number of the remaining 6 remain unchanged, okay, while writing this paper. Remaining 6 remains unchanged. Okay. That means, okay, so if you see here, this is there, okay, so this A is x plus 1, okay, whatever B is there, okay, will be same. So this is also x plus 1. So in fact, let me put this is also x plus 1 because I have to make 5 x plus 1 here, right? So x plus 1, let me put this also x plus 1. Let me put this also x plus 1. Okay, I'm just randomly putting. So in the first case, I have 5x plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the second case, I have 6x plus 1 if you see. Right? Perfect. Now what's happening here? Okay, x is equal to 5. No, Sharanya, okay, x is not equal to 5. Okay, we'll come to that. Why not B, D, E, H? Okay, Vishnu, why not B, D, E, H? Okay, I did not get your question. Okay, you can just type in a little more detail. X plus y, Sharanya. Okay, understand x plus 5. Why did I say this? Understand? Did you understand this, Sharanya? That this from 24, this became to 20. Did you understand this part, Sharanya? And this change has come because of whom? This change has come because of E, right? Because E co-authored with F. That means, okay, this E became x plus 1 here. So it's changed from something and it became to x plus 1. So whatever this reduction is there, okay, this becomes, okay, perfect. So just explain from how 5x plus 1 we are getting. How are we getting 5 times of x plus 1? It is very clearly given. Now here we explained this before also. Okay, understand. Let me put it here. Okay, let me put it here. So I had x plus 1. Okay, x plus 1. Okay, for A and B. And for F, I had x. Okay, what was this statement telling you? 5 members of this group had identical ADOS number, while other 3 numbers, okay, are distinct from each other. Sharanya, read this. Got it? All right. Perfect. Chalo. All right. 5y. Okay, Vishnu, why did not we take 5y, right? Because if you are taking 5 times y, then we are getting here this line. Okay, read again. Okay, you have to be very specific. The other 3 ADOS number has to be distinct from each other. If I take 5 times y, then I'm getting 2 times x plus 1. So other 3 distinct hona hai na? Is that happening? right? Okay, that's not happening. Okay, great, chalo, good. All right, so what is this now? If you see, you've got kind of equations here. Okay, now you don't know this value here. Okay, this is missing. Okay, but you still have something. Okay, that you can calculate. So if I go with the second equation, okay, this fifth day, where what do you see? You have 6 times you're getting x plus 1. So let me just put it here. I'm just putting it here. So 6 times of x plus 1 plus, let's say z. Okay, this thing which is I don't know, let's say I'm putting this z. Okay, this is equal to how much? This is equal to 20, right? So if I just try to solve this, this is nothing but 6x plus 6. Okay, and sorry, plus, yeah, plus 6. Okay, and this is going to be, let's say z, and this is going to be 20, right, everyone? Okay, in fact, okay, I should also add this x also, right? Okay, but this is also there, so let me add this x also here. Because what's happening? So you got 1 x plus 1, one more 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 x plus 1. So total 6x plus 1, 1 x is there and 1 z is there. So 6 times, okay, 6 times I have written x plus 1, 1 time I have written x, and 1 time I have written z, right? Okay, good one, Pratik. Okay, and this actually solves, okay, this thing, because here if you try to solve this, this becomes 7x plus z is equal to 14, right? 7x plus z is equal to 14. Now, can you make the value of z 0? Is that possible? Is that possible? It is not possible, because it is very clearly said only Paul Erdos has an Erdos number of 0. So you cannot give z as 0. No, you cannot do that. Okay. So if you give, let's say if you give this as 1, so x also becomes 1. Is that? Does that? So this has to be 7, right? So this is 7. This becomes 1 in that case. 7 1 is 7 plus 7 is equal to 14. So can you make x as 0? Let's say you see that, sir, I'll make this 0. Can this makes 14? Again, you cannot make this also 0, because only Paul Erdos is having a Erdos number of 0. So what's happening, guys? If you see, you have got the unique value here, which is nothing but you have got the value of x as 1 and the value of z as 7. And because you know this x as 1, z as 7, you can now calculate all the Erdos number here. So this was, let's say, 1 x plus 1 is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this was 6, okay, this was 1, okay, like this. So this was 2, this is z, okay, so I mean z was 7, okay, this is 7, this is again 2 here, okay, no, this is again 2 here, this is 2, this is 2, this is 1, this became 6, from 2 it became 6, and this is 7. So I have all the Erdos number. Okay, I have all the Erdos number now. And if you just quickly check the questions, all the questions is direct questions here. Erdos number of C at the end of the conference. C at the end of the conference is what? 2. Okay. Erdos number of E at the beginning of the conference. E at the beginning of the conference is 6. Okay. How many participants had same Erdos number at the beginning of the conference? Same Erdos number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are having same Erdos number. I did not assume Rishi x to be 7. Okay, I'll just come to that part. Okay, I did not assume this. What is possibility? Let's take, so you have to be clear about the possibility. आप क्या ले सकते हो? Let's say if you take let's say x z as 0. Okay, so this is possible or what, Rishi? This is not possible, na? Because Paul Erdos is 0. Only Paul Erdos is 0. Achha, if you take z as 1, what will happen? If this is 1, okay, this number has to be 13. Is this possible? It's a multiple of 7. Multiple of 7, 13 ho sakta hai kya, Rishi? No. So this way there is only one combination left, okay, where even if I take, let's say, x as 1, so this whole number will become 7 into 1, which is 7. So z has to be 7 only. This is the only case possible. Rishi, got it now? Perfect. Yeah. Great. So technically, okay, we have solved all the questions here, okay, because you can directly get this, okay, now. Largest ADOS number was 7, okay. How many participants did not change ADOS number? So you can quickly check this table, okay. This is from 2 to 2, 2 to 2, did not change, this also did not change, okay. Okay, here, okay, this would have been same 2. So 1, 2, 3. In fact, if I see only A co-authored, C co-authored, and E co-authored, okay. So from the beginning, they are asking, na, how many people did not change during, okay. So 3 people actually changed. So 5 people did not change, right? A, C, and E, they co-authored with F, and that's why it changed. Otherwise, it did not change. Perfect. So we have solved all things here, okay, and we also understood these how to attempt LRDI, okay, the types and all that, okay. Pratik, at the end of third day, E को F plus 5 ही तो कर सकते हैं. F plus F मतलब मैंने F का जो ADOS number है उसको मैंने X लिया हुआ है ना प्रतीक, if you see, so it is X plus 5, so it is same, right? So आप उसको F लिखते हैं X लिखते हैं, okay, doesn't matter. Great, I think, okay, that's all. So that's on the logic side. Okay, we have Avinash sir, okay, who's already there. Avinash, if you can hear me.
Yes, hi there, sir. I could hear you.
Yeah, so I made you the host. Okay, you can, I think, continue with the verbal front. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I will take on from now.
Thank you.
So good evening all. I'm Avinash. So I will be taking the verbal part. Just give me a moment. I will share the screen. Are you able to see the screen? You can just mention in the chat so someone can confirm. Right, perfect. All right, if we can carry on. So guys, since CAT examination is almost there and we have around, let's say, maximum, okay, yeah, I think people are responding now. So we have the CAT examination in the end week of November. So we do not have a lot of time. So probably, let's say we have 5 weeks worth of time for preparation. So verbal is a part where you can score very high. And verbal is a section where in certain colleges like FMS and others, they place a high weightage on the verbal ability का जो score होता है ना आपका percentile score. So people have certain inhibitions toward verbal, that sir, I'm not able to read certain passages and the standard of vocabulary is too high or the concepts are not clear to me. So to prevent this, what you all need to do is you need to read a lot. So it means that you guys need to go through some standard quality articles. This is the first source. So since this is 5 weeks worth of time, so what we need to do is we need to focus on the standard quality of articles. So you could ask me, sir, what are the standard quality of articles and what are the topics on which we are getting in the examination? So guys, so if we observe the past year pattern of CAT, so from the past 3 years, so generally they are trying to focus on certain topics. So I will try to state those topics here. Just a moment. Yeah. So before that, one good source to go through all these articles is certain news websites. So which are, you can just note them down if you are free to read. So some of them are New York Times, The Guardian. So there is another website called Aeon where you can read articles also. Yes, correct. Aeon se aapko articles. See, they have tried to give around 1/3 of the passages which were in the past 3 years from these sites. But it's not like आपको यहाँ पे सारे articles पढ़ लेंगे, direct articles मिल जाएंगे. See, this is an idea to understand the standard of, yeah, those articles are very big. And that is what I'm saying, right? So if you enter your MBA, right, you will be given case studies, which are almost about 10 to 20 pages or even 30 pages. And we need to quickly read them. So basically they are trying to test our skill of reading and comprehension. So comprehension is our ability to understand. So if you are comfortable about reading passages which are big and you are able to gain idea, so you'll be really good manager. So that is the logic behind giving these questions as part of your examination. But again, guys, since you don't have a lot of time, you can stick to those articles which are, let's say, around. Okay, so I'll just try to state those websites again. So we have certain questions also, but I'll just clean the slide and reshare again. Is it visible now? All of you? Okay, so go through certain articles. NYT. See guys, Guardian में ना आपको paywall नहीं होता है, तो you don't need to worry about articles का limit. NYT I think they ask for registration. So आपको अगर ये you need to subscribe करके से notifications आ रहे हैं, you don't need to bother. You don't need to spend money on these websites. So there is other website called Aeon. So आपको Hindu, if anyone is reading the Hindu newspaper, you can also go through that. But the standard of vocabulary is not that high, but still it is affordable. I think people have these newspapers subscribed, some of them at least. So there are other websites. So whatever foreign websites are there, right? Foreign news websites, Economist. So there is another site called Smithsonian. So why I'm telling you all these things? So these are diverse sources, right? Where you can, another website I'll tell you, All Daily, New Yorker. If you go New Yorker, yeah. If you go through all these, yeah, that can be done, Salif. But yeah, so you don't need to go through all the articles, but to get the idea. But the important part is that you need to go through certain topics which are present in these particular articles. So what are those topics? Some of them are international relations, history, psychology, philosophy. What else, guys? Yeah, you will get biology / zoology / botany. मतलब इन्हीं में आ जाते हैं दोनों. Just I'm segregating because if you had observed the previous year papers, you might have observed the botany related questions also. So editorial section you can go through, or any article. See, because it's about reading, right? You need to familiarize yourself with the vocabulary and you need to improve your reading speed, because some of the people, they don't read, and once if they need to perform under pressure or they need to read it very quickly, it becomes an issue. So you can read anything, basically novels bhi padh sakte ho aap, You can read any article, any website, anything. But the general suggestion is you go through certain topics, topic wise, taki you guys will get familiarized with such kind of topics. So suddenly, if you are getting any article on, let's say, psychology, so you should not be like, sir, what is this term? I'm hearing it for the first time. See, it happens to most of the people. But there are certain general terms related to psychology, philosophy, let's say economics. So if I'm considering the topic of economics se bhi aapko passages will be given. So trade deficit is a word written. So you know what is deficit, trade pata hai, but trade deficit kya hota hai? So you should understand such kind of terminology. So free trade kya hota hai? So you just need to read certain topics so that you will get an overall idea. You don't need to understand the concepts per se. So I think you got the idea, right? So guys, the suggestion is every day till examination, try to solve 3 passages a day. All right, this is your target. And what is the source? Previous year questions. All right, so take the previous year questions of CAT and every day try to solve 3 passages starting from the last year paper. So you have multiple slots, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. So try to solve the past 5 years or whatever you feel like. So certain standard questions are given. So if you practice the CAT level standard of questions, your confidence level will have a huge boost and you will get the idea about the type of passages from these topics they're asking. Okay, guys, any questions so far? Any questions so far? All right, you can mention in the chat. All good. Right. So I'll be moving on. So I have given you a primer on how to proceed your preparation. So guys, we know the pattern. What is the pattern? You might be getting 24 to 26 questions in the verbal ability and reading comprehension section. So earlier they used to have 1 hour slots, but now it is of 40 minutes, right? So you have 40 minutes of time and out of this, let's say 24 questions you are getting. Ab मान लो 24 मान के चलते हैं. So 19 questions plus 3 minus 1 and 5 questions plus 3 and 0. So what is this? So you have certain type and type questions. So these are the type of questions where you will see questions like parajumbles, para summary, what else? Odd one out will be given. Okay. So out of this parajumbles and odd one out, so you might be getting as the questions where you need to type into the box using your mouse. Okay, so you will be given a box. So you just need to type in the option or the sequence. What is the sequence? So in such questions, you will not have negative marks, but also there is a high chance of getting it incorrect also. But again, wherever you have the questions where you do not have the negative marks, please try to attempt such questions. You should not leave them empty because you are going to lose nothing. But in the questions where you will be getting the negative marks, try to answer those questions where you are very sure about. So you guys might ask, sir, what are these questions which are sure? So let's say you are reading this particular passage. Okay. So this is a passage. So you have, let's say, these are all past year questions, previous year CAT questions. And this is a passage based on economics. All of you are following me? Yeah. So this is a passage based out of economics. So certain terms like Adam Smith, invisible hand, barter. So these are like common to economics. That's why I was saying ki if you are reading certain articles, right, you will. So those who are not even from economics background or commerce background, they can understand these terms if you have studied in your school. But still, if you have not, try to familiarize yourself by reading few articles from these topics. So you will understand what these terms mean. So otherwise, you have this vocabulary booklet. So guys, please try to ensure you cover this booklet properly and go through certain important words which are highly likely to come in your passages or in other examinations where you can be asked directly the synonyms, antonyms, etc. CAT may directly they will not ask you what is the meaning of this word, but they will try to see based on the meaning of the word पूरा क्वेश्चन का इंटरप्रिटेशन इट विल चेंज सो दे विल ट्राई टू आस्क व्हाट डज दिस सेंटेंस मीन व्हाट इज द ऑथर ट्राइंग टू इंप्लाई तो उसका मीनिंग आपको यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड एंड उस सेंटेंस में व्हाट डज इट इंप्लाई सो in such situations you need to be a bit familiar with the terminology so that's why this vocabulary booklet will help you so guys please try to go through this booklet so that you can mark certain words which are highly likely to come again. All right. So this is another step you need to follow after your passage reading. Right. So guys, what is the strategy? So 24 questions you understood. So you will say, sir, I have just 40 minutes. So what will I do in this 40 minutes? So 24 questions, even if I take, let's say 2 minutes to solve one question, it will still come up to 48 minutes or 52 minutes. So in this case, you need to have some preference that what are the questions I will try to attempt. But your main logic is to read all the questions, 24 or 26, how many number of questions they will give. You should go through all the questions in the paper at least once. So just like Haider sir has explained, you can spend 15 seconds on a question and try to see that ye question मैं कर सकता हूँ or this will take a lot of time, this will waste my time or I might get it incorrect. So this is the logic you should follow. The second thing is you can prioritize the order. So always your confidence needs to be high. So how will your confidence remain high? By trying to solve easier and the topic where you are very strong at or good at. ताकि आपका confidence boost हो जाएगा exam में. Your confidence should always be good. That's why try to see if you are trying to solve a philosophy type passage in the beginning itself. So you might not be that confident. So what you need to do is try to identify the passage out of the given passages. What is the easiest one you are comfortable with? Then go along with that first. Because sometimes like some of the people are not familiar with, let's say, psychology or philosophy. This is a common issue with many people. They don't like to read those topics. But again, because they are very important for the examination purpose, because they generally give at least one passage from these topics. So you should have a habit of reading those type of passages also. So the starting point is your previous year CAT questions. Okay. So let us see how you will try to attempt a passage now. Any questions so far on the strategy? Okay, I think there are no questions. So let's just see how this particular passage can be solved. So just follow me, guys, because the passage, let's say this is of 4 paragraphs. So can I use a clean sheet? Do you want a clean sheet or should I explain here only? You can take a screenshot if you want to note these things out. Okay, I'll just clean this up and start again. Okay, so let's see the following passage. So let's see, I have chosen this passage. Like for my case, I'm like okay with economics. So I took this passage. So what is the approach I will follow? Let's observe. So first of all, if you are going through a passage, so you will have a sliding type of view. So you will have the passage, let's say passage in this section. You have question in this section with the options and all. So that is, I think you might have attempted a few mocks, so or at least sectional tests. So you can observe the computer layout, how you can attempt the examination. So you can just scroll this thing down at once. You don't need to change like the way we are doing in the PPTs. So you can just see it there itself. So what you guys need to do is, so let's say if you are allotting, so verbal ability and reading comprehension, right? If you are trying to do the reading comprehension part, so how many questions of reading comprehension will be there? So if I'm getting like 4 reading comprehensions type questions, so I can expect at least 16 RC based questions and 8 verbal ability questions. Or if it's 26, so similarly I can expect multiple other questions. So आपको इसी ratio में you need to divide your timing. But because in the RC, you cannot just answer the questions on their own. You say, if you are seeing these questions, like logical order, में इनको arrange करना है. So these questions are standalone. You don't need to understand the entire paragraph, and each question is not related to the other question. So you can do them on their own or leave that question as it is. But passage में ऐसा नहीं होता है. So what we need to do, we need to read the entire passage and attempt whatever questions we are seeing. Okay, so that's why it is important that we once read the passage carefully and we try to allot sufficient time to read the passage. So what we need to do is we need to give certain amount of time. So if you are like, let's say there are 16 questions and 8 verbal ability. So I'm just dividing it in that ratio, 2:1. 2/3 of the time I'll allot. So 2/3, whatever you are comfortable with. So you can just allot that much amount of time. So I can, let's say, out of the, so let's say I am allotting around, let's say 25 minutes for the RC, rest of the 15 minutes for verbal ability. You can allot it according to your needs, however it may be. So I will, let's say, give 6 minutes to each passage, 6 or 7 minutes, depending. It's your wish, however you want it to be. So 28 minutes पे आप कर लो, जैसा भी है, 12 minutes on VA. So it's your comfort. How will you understand that I am able to segregate in these timelines? Say it's about your practice. So you have the CAT examination in 5 weeks. So in these 5 weeks, try to attempt as many mocks as possible. Let's say 2 mocks a week. So you can understand. So you can have a look again. What is the mistake I am doing? So what are the questions I should be attempting or not attempting? So if you are giving 10 tests, right, at least in 5 weeks, 2 tests a week, तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि if I'm not able to do these questions well, I should not waste much time in those type of things. So if you are very good at verbal ability, you should pick those questions first, because they will be giving you marks according to your accuracy and correctness. So आप जितना जल्दी उनको solve कर रहे हो उस पे कोई marks नहीं मिल रहा है. You should be as accurate as possible. That's why try to pick the questions you are most comfortable with. You can experiment in a few mocks, 2 or 3 mocks, but in certain mocks you can try to write as it is how you are trying to attempt in the main examination, so that you will understand that if this is the main exam, how will I attempt. तो आपको एक idea हो जाएगा. So pattern will be almost same. They will not change it drastically. तो आपको similar type of pattern will be observed. So you can follow a structure. So इसलिए so अगर आपको 7 मिनट एक पैसेज को दे रहे हैं, so let's say you have 4 questions, so 1 minute for each question. So this passage has 3 questions, but generally they give 4 questions, let's say. So I'll give 1 minute to solve each question. So rest of the 3 minutes, what will I do? I'll try to read the passage properly once or twice. Okay? So in 3 minutes, I'll try to read this passage. So I'm telling you this on the basis of how I will solve or attempt in the CAT examination itself. So I'll just quickly go through. So what you will need to do is, whenever you are reading it, try to identify the keywords. So keywords become very important, right? So जैसे Karl Menger, this is the main person. So he was an Austrian economist. So it is written here. So because I know it earlier, मेरे को समझ में आ जाएगा topic. Even those who don't know, just try to identify who is it talking about. Origin of money. So this topic might be related to the money. पूरा topic money के ऊपर ही जा रहा है. Deeply satisfying because it knows how money can develop from barter. So again, barter एक concept आ गया. So these things you can try to highlight whenever you are reading it mentally without anyone concept. So again, when you are reading, right, try to read without how can I say? जैसे कुछ लोग ना, whenever they are trying to read, they try to speak with their mouth silently. But if you are reading with your mouth silently, so your speed will reduce a lot. So what you guys need to do is you need to read with your eyes only and try to understand, speak in your mind itself. So if you are speaking when trying to speak silently, like without speaking, let's say, so lips, if you are trying to move whenever you are reading, so it will reduce your speed. So because I'm explaining you guys right now, so I need to speak. But when you are reading with your eyes only, so your speed will drastically increase. And if you are not using your mouth, so it will be very quick. So this is a quick tip for those people who are thinking, sir, I am not that quick enough. And what you need to do is, whenever you are quickly, you can use the cursor to have, so you have this mouse cursor, right, with you whenever you are doing. So आप लोग mouse cursor को, you can move through it. And if you are having, let's say, a word which is highlighted, so you can look through it once or twice. You can move your cursor like that, or you can note it down in your notepad, that word, that you can get back to it. So that is the trick, generally how we do it. As such, it's an example of Adam Smith's invisible hand of scientist called emergence. So this is the paragraph 1. So paragraph 1 say, what you understood is, you just write in your notes, it's about a topic called money. So that is the understanding, how the money evolved. Now paragraph 2 देखते हैं. Menger founded the Austrian school, heterodox. So heterodox का meaning क्या होता है? It's not orthodox. Orthodox का opposite है. It's not very strict. It's a different type of interpretation. So they are not strictly sticking to one type of thought. So that is the meaning of heterodox. Derided by many mainstream. Yet their accounts of the origin of money beg very question. Menger answered. The typical mainstream economic books list the problems of barter exchange. So they are trying to discuss the issues related to barter exchange. So here barter ka concept they are trying to link. However, that doesn't really explain how money actually got started. So again, they are trying to go through the concept which is stated in the first paragraph, that is money ka evolution of money. So they are giving more points, details, how this thing happened. So these are the main points you need to remember. More than listing the advantages of air travel, one is left with the impression that barter one morning suddenly become alert to monitor exchange. So they are saying that barter, see, money didn't evolve right out of the air. They are saying barter का जो system होता है ना, what is barter system? Barter system is you are trying to exchange one good with another good of the same value. That is barter exchange. But people had some issue with the barter system. That is, they might not be able to find the exact system. So they tried to use something which is equivalent to indicate the value of the title. That's how money and currency got started. So that is the logic they are trying to explain in the part 2. So ये हो गया आपका explanation of the evolution of money, barter system से. So that is the other logic you should understand. Now let's see paragraph 3. Of course, that is ridiculous. In Manga's account, money emerges through a series of small steps, each of which is based on self-interested choices by individual traders with limited knowledge. First, individual barters realize that when direct exchange is difficult, they can get what they want by indirect exchange. See, that is the logic I was trying to explain you in the earlier passage. That direct exchange difficult hota hai. Aapko agar, let's say, if you are trying to exchange a particular kind of cow with some sheep, so cow is more valuable than sheep. So आपको 2 sheep से exchange कर सकते हो, let's say with a cow, but it is very difficult. Like, how are you actually estimating that? And are you able to find the exact amount of sheep at that spot itself? So it's quite difficult. That's why rather than finding someone who has both what I want and I want, so उसी टाइम पे आपको sheep मिल नहीं सकते हैं, तो क्या करोगे उस टाइम पे? So you will take something which is widely accepted by a lot of people. That is what they are trying to see. I can then trade what I have for this good, even though I don't want to consume it myself, and then trade it for something I don't want to consume. So that's why you can have this particular currency wala cheez, taki wo currency you are not using it now itself, but you can try to use it for something else also. So in that case, I will have to use the intermediate good as a medium of exchange. So this is a key terminology. This is the medium of exchange. Money is a medium of exchange. So now they are trying to explain how the currency system works. So barter ka jo alternative hai na. So that is the passage 3 what they are trying to explain. The details they are getting into. So you had a look at the opening statement. Now similarly paragraph 4 jo hai na, a conclusion hai. So always try to have more concentration or focus on the final statement, because you will have most of your questions asked on these things. Ki author ne finally kya socha? What is the gist of the passage you are trying to understand? So that's why whenever you are reading, try to keep extra focus on the ending paragraph or ending line itself. ठीक है? ताकि आपको ज़्यादा focus हो जाता है. So this is how you try to see. But let's see what is the last line about. Menger notes that all of the goods, notes that not all goods are equally marketable. Some goods are easier to trade. Therefore, it pays a trader to accumulate an inventory of highly marketable goods for use as a medium of exchange. Other alert traders in the market catch on, and eventually this market converges on single common medium of exchange. This is money. So let's say I give you an example. कि अगर आपको directly ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, take the example of gold. सबको सोना पता है ना? So people, what do they do? Gold is widely acceptable. Everyone accepts that thing. So what do? So they try to accumulate this thing overall. They try to build up this thing and try to exchange it for the goods. So everything you try to account in terms of gold. जो भी चीज है ना आपको बेच रहे हो, so उसका वैल्यू आप गोल्ड करके एक गुड पे दे रहे हो. So finally सब लोग they agree upon the price of the gold. So this is the medium of exchange in which everyone is trying to exchange the goods on. So gold is the currency in our case. So these people are saying that good is money itself. So finally in the passage 4, they are giving the meaning of the money. So finally they are concluding a medium of exchange जो भी हो रहा है ना, that particular good which you are trading for other things. So that is money. So finally you understood ये सारे paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4 जो main points आपको समझ में आ गया ना. So you are converging in this thing. So guys, you understood what I tried to explain here? Any questions so far? Any questions? Do you want me to repeat any paragraph you are not able to understand? All good. ठीक है, चलो let's quickly do these questions. ठीक है, so just observe how I am able to solve these questions. ठीक है, now मैंने आपको समझा दिया कि पैराग्राफ आप कैसे सॉल्व कर रहे हो. तो now let's see the question. Author's attitude. So this is a type of question sometimes people will ask towards Karl Menger. Karl Menger is the particular person whom we are discussing. इनका जो theory है ना, ऑस्ट्रियन स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, origin of money इन लोगों ने दिया है. So what is the overall way, the attitude, author का tone क्या है with respect to this person? So let's see the individual votes. जैसे options से चलते हैं. So because finally we need to select the right option, right? Options से हम लोग elimination method से जाते हैं. But overall, let's see what is the nature of the question. So questions are of easy, medium and difficult types. What is the easy question? It's a factual type. जैसे आप क्वेश्चन देख के डायरेक्टली ये जो पूरा पैसेज है ना, आप पैसेज से आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हो इमीडिएटली, लाइक पर्टिकुलर लाइन और समथिंग. सो देन यू कैन डायरेक्टली find that particular answer in the option and you can mark it. So that is a factual question where you are able to eliminate 3 options and find the right answer. So that is a factual type question. So you should always try to attempt these easy sitting questions. आप इनको avoid ही नहीं कर सकते हो. ठीक है, so factual questions you should always try to score because they are the scoring parts. And बाकी आपका जो competitors है ना, see how are you being assessed on basis of percentile, right? Everyone wants 99 percentile or something, but what does percentile actually mean? Most of the people are actually scoring that much. So easy questions everyone are solving. So आप easy questions you cannot make them incorrect. So if you are like sitting too much, having too much, you are spending too much time on particular question, so you are losing out on other questions. जैसे easy questions are there, आपको score finally जैसे आप 50% स्कोर कर रहे हो एक सेक्शन में, दैट इज इक्वल टू 99 परसेंटाइल. समझ रहे हो आप, सेक्शन वाइज एंड इवन ओवरऑल पेपर. सो आप ये टर्म रूल याद रख लो. सो इफ यू आर जस्ट स्कोरिंग इवन 50%, यू आर स्कोरिंग 99 परसेंटाइल. सो दैट इज द रिटर्न यू आर गेटिंग. तो इन दिस केस डज इट मेक सेंस कि आप यू स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम ऑन डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस? नो, राइट? सो most of the people will get such type of questions correct. So your strategy is to identify all these questions, make use of time very well, and आप easy questions को mark कर सकते हैं. So this is a type of question which comes under the medium type question. Why is it so? Because यहाँ पे आपको exactly it is not mentioned that attitude of author. So it is a subject to type question. So you need to understand the whole passage to see how the author is perceiving it. But again, medium are the type of questions where आप 2 ऑप्शन को एलिमिनेट कर रहे हो, 2 ऑप्शन में आपको सही लग रहा है. सो यू कैन टेक रिस्क हियर. ठीक है, सो a distribution of easy, medium and difficult will be in your paper. So अगर let's say easy questions आपको 30% मिल रहे हैं, not just 30%, okay, let's say medium is 50, difficult is 20. So आप क्या करोगे? You will try to answer all these questions correctly ना. And medium में भी आप अगर at least आप if you are attempting even 20% ना, तो इसमें भी अगर आपको गलत हो गया, जो भी हो गया, overall में if you are eliminating these difficult questions and 50% आप like overall net score आपका सही है, तो you are scoring very high. But that is the issue ना, people don't try to identify the easy questions और medium में भी जिसको attempt करना है नहीं करना है, तो वहां पे आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. सो दैट्स व्हाई ऑलवेज ट्राई टू यूज दिस स्ट्रैटेजी इन योर मॉक टेस्ट्स. ठीक है ना? सो दिस इज वन थिंग आई वांट टू टेल यू कि आपका स्कोर, अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि सर मेरा स्कोर बढ़ नहीं रहा है, तो दिस इज द मिस्टेक यू माइट बी डूइंग इन सम पार्ट्स. यू आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व द questions where you are able to score the highest and you are not identifying those questions immediately and solving them. आप लोग टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो ये जो डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस है और जो कुछ मीडियम क्वेश्चंस पे. ताकि आप ऐसे जैसे easy questions है, after the exam you say, sir, this question is very easy and I am not able to solve that question on time. So this is the issue many students have faced, and I have also faced earlier also. But once I understood this strategy, I applied it properly. So that's why look at this thing. Elation. Elation का meaning क्या होता है? Elation is about joy or pride. So अगर आप ये पूरा passage पढ़ रहे हो, so was the author actually showing any kind of joy here? Anyone? Pride दिखा रहा है. So pride कैसे दिखाते हो? So when he is trying to promote that person and saying good things about it. So यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं लग रहा है. So here deeply satisfying. So he said it is interesting type thing. So it's something related to the admiration. So it's not too much of a support or neither decline. So he was admiring what the author is saying. Exaltation means it is a victory kind of joy. Adulation, excessive praise. So if you read the whole passage, just a second. Are you able to see the screen? Yeah. So why not adulation? Adulation का meaning क्या था? Flattery. Flattering पता है ना आपको? So here's a ji huzur type wala. So that is not how he is trying to describe Karl Menger's work, right? So he is showing some sort of admiration to it in this case. Okay? You got the understanding? So how are you able to understand this? In the first passage itself is deeply satisfying because it shows how money can develop from barter without anyone consciously inventing it. So here he didn't say कि without Karl Menger, he is one of the best. Karl Menger had a quality of very interesting explanation. So nothing sort of that thing happened here. So आप elation, adulation, exaltation, you can avoid these things. So admiration, you can select this one. ठीक है, आपको समझ में आ गया? Three terms are similar. That's why you avoid those things. So you can, once you try to identify all the passages, right? आपको समझ में आ जाएगा किस tone पे जा रहा है. So you can understand the tone by the way these people are explaining. So of course that is ridiculous. So some of the words, no, they are used in negative sense. तो यहाँ पे अगर आप पूरा उनके सपोर्ट में जा रहे हैं ना, तो you will not find that many negative words. ठीक है? So that's why this is the answer, fourth option for this. Now let's quickly solve this question. I think we are exceeding the time, but we'll just finish this passage and we will be good to go. So guys, look at this question. Which of the following is not one of the steps in Karl Menger's account of origin of money? So origin of money. So what is the origin of money? So steps कैसे आप identify कर रहे हो? You are trying to identify through this thing. First, individual barter recognizes. So third paragraph say you are trying to understand these things. Second paragraph also they are giving the origin of these things. So second and third paragraph you need to focus. So when you go and scroll through the passage, right, you will not waste your time on paragraph 1 or paragraph 4. आप paragraph 2 से ये जो नीचे से आ रहा है ना, यहाँ से यहाँ तक, तो you will only focus on these things. आपको already highlighted words है. So what will you do? So you can see that options, what is mentioned in the options first. Barterers converge on the medium of exchange. So are they not? So not is the given keyword. So this is happened, right? Barterers have converged. So if you can look at this thing, self-interest, realize when they wanted indirect. So what happened here is that finally people tried to accept this one particular medium of exchange. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? I want someone who has both what I want and I have. Someone wants it, then I can trade this good. Even I don't want to consume it. That's why I don't want to consume. So intermediate good as a medium of exchange. So they are trying to use the intermediate good of as a medium of exchange. So they are converged, right? कि मैं एक चीज को बाकी सब चीज से relate करूँ. So they converge. So that's why this is a correct thing. But हमें क्या चाहिए? We want the step which is not mentioned. So that's why we don't select this option because this is the correct option in the passage. Barterers focused on accumulating highly marketable items. See, again, this is also given in the 4th paragraph. What is given? So they accumulate an inventory of highly marketable items. Okay, this is also correct. So we don't select this. Barterers became aware of the benefits of monetary exchange. So again, look at this statement carefully. So did they right away understand this thing? बताओ. Anyone? Third option, आप बता सकते हो कि was the author mentioning this properly? Fourth option also you can see it is mentioned. Yeah, third option is the answer because author ने sarcastically बोला था. Barterers became aware of the benefits of monetary exchange. They never got aware because what they tried to do is they began exchanging the goods indirectly through a third mechanism. So if they are aware of the monetary exchange itself, ना तो barter system आता ही क्यों था? ठीक है? So they didn't became aware. It is not one of the steps basically. So through elimination, right? आप ये identify कर सकते हैं. So this is a factual type of question, you can say easy type of question because आपको 3 option you found this directly in the passage just by identifying the passage. Once you read this, no, after you go through these paragraphs again, you can find these statements. So that's why I identified option 3 as the right answer directly. So this is an easy type of question. Any doubts in this one? Yeah, they didn't mention, that's why. So this is an easy question. So people can answer this right away. Now, what about this option? What according to this author? Yes, this is a previous year CAT questions. So they came in the examination. What according to this author is the problem with the typical mainstream economist account of origin of money? So author के हिसाब से प्रॉब्लम क्या है? मेनस्ट्रीम जो इकोनॉमिस्ट है ना, origin of money का जो थ्योरी है, उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? So the problem is, let's see. So let's see the options first. Options is, let's see the first option. It fails to mention the advantages of money. So if you can see that this is this mentioned anywhere? Money ka jo advantages and all. Anywhere. So if you can see the second paragraph, तो इसके लिए हम second paragraph चलते हैं एक बार. So accounts the origin of money. So ये देख second line. Derided by mainstream economists. This is the keyword. So आप immediately you can go through this one. So Menger answered. Their accounts of origin, very question Menger answered. The typical mainstream economist lists the problems of barter exchange. Then explains how they overcome these problems. However, doesn't really explain how money actually got started. So it doesn't explain how money started being used. So this is also direct factual question. ना? आपको directly मिल गया just by identifying. So it didn't even take 1 minute for it. तो आपको भी ना एक बार अगर अच्छे से एक बार देख रहे हो तो 2 questions you can answer it easily, right? So passages, your main task is to read the passage properly once. Then when you are looking at the options in the questions, you can go back to the particular keyword. आपको recall होता है mind में कि मैंने ये पढ़ा है. But you can just try to note these things कि paragraph 1 का key idea क्या है, paragraph 2 का key idea क्या है. Then you can quickly see कि मुझे इसी passage पे जाना है. But still you can just scroll through them quickly if you are using only your eyes to read and not reading from your mouth when you are reading. So this is how. So any questions here, guys? कि passages कैसे solve करना है? I think I was clear. This is a strategy. Sir, how do we answer questions asking us to give a title for the passage, especially if the options are very similar to each other? देखो, see, main thing is title के लिए ना आप क्या करोगे? So remember what I told you. Go through the conclusion and the opening statement. So most of the passage, right? They follow a sequence and order. So check the options first. That if they are trying to match the opening statement and the conclusion. So then you can say that my title would be similar to this. So if you can show me any particular type of question, I will solve you. Currently, I do not have what is the appropriate title, but this is the logic. What I will try to do is try to see the opening statement, the conclusion part. बीच में जो भी main idea you will get ना once you read that. So उस idea से starting statement जो main idea and conclusion are matching, then that is the title. You don't need to think too much about it. ठीक है? So they will not confuse you that much basically. So titles are one of the easier type of questions. So if they are trying to confuse you ना, so थोड़ा difficult type question category में आ जाते हैं. So you should just think in this manner. You will get the answer, but thoda time lagega if it's given in a difficult. So you understood the question, right, Shivraj? What about others? You have any other questions? So related to strategy, doubts, etc. Sir, in regards to theta questions, not only but also in quants, if we get the answer wrong, does it affect our accuracy factors and disadvantages of getting? See, accuracy, see, it doesn't matter. Basically, na, even if you make it incorrect, see, accuracy is like ki you are scoring na +3 marks or 0. So, आपका just time waste ही हो रहा है. ठीक है? Accuracy is important because you guys need to score a lot in those questions where there is a negative marks. तो वहां पे आपको accuracy anyways it's good. So आपका जितना time आप invest कर रहे हो ना, it is important. So don't think that much. या जैसे कि there's a high chance कि आप randomly कुछ भी mark कर रहे हो ना, it might not be correct, but sometimes it might be. So why leave those questions is the logic. ठीक है? So accuracy is like if you are attempting an incorrect question, your score will not be reduced. But आप अगर कुछ attempt ही नहीं कर रहे हो, you are getting 0 anyway. So +3 or 0, just think. So that's why. ठीक है? Others? Yeah, Dylan. See, that's why now. So your first task is to go through certain websites of the topics I have suggested. Try to go through the vocabulary booklet also. Your first task is ये जो regular practice आप कर रहे हो ना, basic practice with all these passages and all. तो आपको previous year CAT questions you need to solve 3 passages a day. Don't forget to solve these questions because if you are not solving this many number of questions within the time limit, जैसे 1 घंटे, so guys आप जैसे practice करते हो ना, try to practice it similar to how you will attempt in the examination so that your practice speed is in sync with what you are doing. कि जैसे if you are taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes to solve a single question, that is not going to work out. 5 minutes, let's say 10 minutes, I don't think anyone will take. 5 minutes if you are taking to solve one question, so it will not work. So trust me, in the beginning stages, it is correct. But 5 weeks before the CAT, you have to change your strategy. So in the initial days, you can try to spend some time to solve such questions. But now it is, you need to improve on your time factor also. तो आप क्या करोगे? You will try to read through the particular statements quickly and try to understand the key meaning of that. See, जैसे कि there are certain philosophical passages also. What I observed is, so the passage might look very difficult, but once you start answering those questions, ना, they are quite easy, straightforward, factual questions. तो लोग को क्या लगता है कि पैसेज देख के बहुत डरावना पैसेज है, मैं छोड़ दूंगा इसको, दूसरे पैसेज पर टाइम लगा. So that's why you need to practice. So 3 passages a day practice, you will do perfectly fine till your examination. Okay. Sir, in my last full length mock, I scored 97.3% and VRC. However, after that, when I took a sectional test, my parents, so see, it doesn't matter. One test doesn't determine your score. आपका पूरा sample size कितना है? How many total mocks did you? How to memorize the passages? What is written in here? You don't need to memorize. That's what I'm saying. You just need to understand what are the main points which are being explained. So, जैसे आपका जो passage है ना, you will be having that passage right here only. Let's say if this is my screen, I'll just show you here. Like if this is my screen, no? So this is my screen. So this is the question given. Options यहाँ पे होंगे आपका. You need to mark them up. So यहाँ पे you can scroll down. Cursor से आप you can scroll them down. So you can revisit that passage immediately. So there is no issue of कि आपको question पूरा you need to scan it once, then आपको question जो passage का जो topic है ना, you cannot read that again. You can have it in front of your question itself. So you can scroll through that and go through. But the issue is once you read that, your own understanding ना कि ये paragraph 1 का main essence क्या है, you can write that in your note once, ताकि you will not get confused afterwards. कि फिर से मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ कि what does this whole passage tries to say, ताकि ये पूरा जो 4 points है ना, एक paragraph का एक point. So at one spot if you are writing, right, so you can connect these 4 ideas quickly and you can see what is the main idea. So that is the logic I'm trying to say, so that those questions can be easily solved. So let's see what is this person saying. Yeah, so yeah, Shivraj, like how many mocks did you take till now? 10 mocks. And in those 10 mocks, what is your average score? You can type in the chat. So it's like, see, it's basic statistics, outliers hote sometimes. Once you are getting 80 percentile doesn't mean you are always getting it. See, you are getting somewhat around a good score, but to maintain, see, one time you are getting very good score, at one time you are getting very bad score. Those things you should not consider them, but only try to understand where did I do the mistake over there. But your average score now, that thing matters. That thing should rise above the required percentile amount. Okay? So the issue is certain colleges have this 85 percentile sectional cutoff also, but generally it is around 80 percentile. Okay? So you need to cross this. So currently you are doing fine. You have crossed this percentile, 85 percentile limit, sectional cutoff. But that doesn't qualify you that you are in a safe zone, because exactly at the cutoff stage you are there now to try to maintain between this sectional. But you should also be like, agar English aapka main scoring point hai na, you cannot be of this low. Okay? Sometimes we can understand we are not that good at English, so cutoff के ऊपर रहना है. तो safe side है आपका 90 to 95. So you still have time and try to reach that point. क्योंकि borderline में ना, it is very dangerous if you are staying in that area. अगर improve नहीं हो रहा है ना, तो you can just connect with us so that we will discuss where you are, where you can improve on. Okay. Any more questions? All right. I think since it is already extended, so I thought of covering these things like with parajumbles and paragraph. So if you have a few more minutes, I can cover them. Yeah. ठीक है, एक काम करता हूँ. In 10 minutes, I'll try to cover these things, ताकि जितने भी लोग हैं ना, you can get something out of this thing session. I don't think how many such sessions will be held again. So look at this particular question. So you can see this now. So quick tip. So I will give you a quick tip. So whenever you are having such type of questions, which are the parajumbles. So parajumble में क्या होता है? So आपको एक right order में arrange करना पड़ेगा सारे sentences को. So to do that, what you need to do is find the opening statement. Right? Give me a moment. I'll just write them down. Yeah. So what is the first step you need to do? Opening statement you need to find. So first statement, if you are able to identify now, so using that opening statement, you can try to fill the rest of the statements. अगर आप starting statement से गलत कर रहे हो, तो your rest of the sentence will be wrong, no doubt about it. तो opening statement क्या होता है? It is a general statement trying to introduce the topic, and it is a standalone thing. It is not related to the any other sentence before this. इसके बाद का जो sentence आएगा ना, it is related to that. But इसके before there is no sentence. So opening statement is the statement. So if the worst hit is the education sector. So what does this mean? So will this be an opening statement? No, because the worst hit. So worst hit among multiple sectors. What are those sectors? Why is it hit? So multiple doubts you will get. So that's why this is not the opening statement. A is not the opening statement for this one. So let's see the other options. This is without doubt. What is this? What does this imply here? So this is without a doubt bold. So B भी opening statement नहीं होगा. The next gen is living under the impression that education can be bought and doesn't need to be earned. So if you see this statement, you might be under the impression it can be an opening statement. So आप question mark रख सकते हो इसको. The notion that it is all prevalent, that it is all prevalent. What is it all prevalent? So we don't know. That's why this is not the opening statement. The motto let the best man win has shifted to let the rich man win. So it is a kind of a statement which is trying to be a generalistic thing. So you can start this, but let's see the other options also. It is regrettable that there is such rampant corruption everywhere in the country. So if you see this thing, you will say that, sir, it is starting with a pronoun. So it might be related to something, but we should understand entire statement. We need to read this and understand ki, is it trying to start the topic and is it standalone? It is regrettable. Regrettable matlab it is unfortunate that there is such rampant corruption everywhere in the country. So they are trying to introduce this topic about corruption. तो अगर आप फिर से ये पूरा sentences, if you are trying to understand, you will understand that corruption is the main idea based on which everything is related. So now you will understand that ki sir, nahi, C and D is not the opening statement, but F, because F is trying to introduce us to the topic of corruption. Now you get it. So corruption is the opening statement. So corruption se is any word related. Now let's see. So corruption is everywhere. Everywhere is the keyword. Everywhere and prevalent are similar words, similar sounding. So F and D become a pair. Okay? Just observe how I'm trying to. Has deterred people from taking a stand against such malpractice. What is such malpractice? It's the corruption. Corruption is the malpractice. So again, there is a link here. Now, if you see, prevalent in many things. So what is the other statement? This is without a doubt misfortune of our generation बता रहे थे. So what is without a doubt? इसके पहले कुछ आ सकता है, but it is after these things. तो B इसके बाद रखते हैं. But let's see if something becomes in between. So if you see the other options, so the worst hit is the education sector. So there is some stand. So यहाँ पे क्या चल रहा है? It is everywhere. So F and A, some thing is there. So D के बाद ये आ सकता है. D के बाद ये ही आएगा. But D and A के बीच में कुछ आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है. Let's check again. So let's see the other option, which is C. The next gen is under the impression that education can be bought and doesn't need to be earned. So education and this statement is related. Are you getting it? Education is the worst hit with corruption. And why is it so? It's explained. So A के बाद C आ रहा है. ठीक है? D and A के बीच में C नहीं आ रहा. Okay? A and C is a pair. But again, let's see if there is another statement which is coming in between or not. The motto, the next man best man win has shifted to let the rich man win. Okay. So if you see E option, E and B is the relationship, because E and B is related because लोगों को, like, people have lost the morals today. So, and that is the unfortunate thing. So that's why F D A C E B is the right sequence. Okay. So what did I apply here? So मैंने पहले opening statement I tried to form. Then what we did, we tried to have a logical sequence of events. Okay. We tried to find the pairs where there is some relationship between the sentences. Timeline use किया हमने कि after this one event this thing happened, and finally the concluding statement. So where does the concluding statement stand? So this is the tip how you try to approach it. So once you are using this tip, right, you will easily try to understand this is the way things need to be organized. You can have your own particular method also, but this is one suggested method where you will have a higher chance of accuracy. Any doubts here so far? Understood. ठीक है. Okay. So last one is odd one out. Similarly, na, see, only difference between odd one out and this particular parajumble is that आपको ये जो भी sequence पे नहीं लग रहा है ना, you can try to arrange this thing in one order. And अगर आपको sequence में नहीं आ रहा है, so you will just eliminate that thing. So if you see this particular thing, I'll quickly tell you. I'll just take 1 minute. So यहाँ पे जो statement है ना, let's see, stock market crash के बारे में बता रहे थे. So four of them are related to one thing, but one thing is not related to the whole paragraph. The days leading up to the crash, the market was severely unstable with periods of high volumes and interspersed with the period of price recovery. So यहाँ पे क्या? So crash के बारे में बात करें, maybe some economic crash. Let's see the other option. $4 billion of wealth was evaporated by lunchtime. Another 9 billion has evaporated. So I think wealth का loss के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. The stock market crash of 1929 curiosity. So again, ये I think this is the starting thing. ठीक है. 3 is the topic. Great Depression के बारे में start कर रहे हैं. और causes they are not mentioning. By Tuesday afternoon, Dow lost almost quarter of its value. ठीक है. 4 में भी value, how much value they lost. So यहाँ पे भी topic was tried to introduce and the value was lost is. So यहाँ पे फिर से fifth option is also about the same thing. So but in the first option, what was mentioned? So people were selling and there was some issues. So first option में ना chronology नहीं है यहाँ पे. So there is no obvious cause here, but यहाँ पे cause बता रहे थे. Everywhere no cause was mentioned, but they are trying to go in the opposite direction. That's why one is the odd one out here. ठीक है. So the way the whole sentences are trying to build a narrative ना, यहाँ पे opposite direction में जा रहे, उल्टा जा रहे. So that is the odd one out ना. So that's how you approach odd one out. So parajumble की तरह ही है, आप इनको rearrange कर सकते हो. One sentence does not fit the narrative, so that is the odd one out. ठीक है. So verbal ability you can easily score a lot, but again you can lose if you are not paying enough attention to such words which change the whole meaning. तो आपको ना you need to pay close attention to the words which change the total meaning of the sentence. ठीक है. So that is all. I hope 30 minutes extend हो गया. Sorry for that, but I think I tried to cover most of the points. So don't forget that you need to practice. 5 weeks are there. Try to give mocks. Practice a lot. And any doubts, try to reach us out. We are there to help you guys. Okay. So you guys can leave since it's already late. Thank you for attending the session. Okay, thank you, thank you. Neha and Shalini, do you have any doubts?